All right. How you doing? How you doing? How you doing? Yeah. Okay. Oh, man. We've added a third phone line. I'll just give it to you now. It doesn't matter. 818-921-6929. Help with the call load. We'll see if that helps out. But anyway, so 3 numbers. And soon to be a 4th, I'm sure. And there you go. Tonight, John Rappaport is here. It is Thursday night. It's Fader Night. He'll be here with us. No More Fake Newsroom Live. Lots of crazy breaking news today. And we'll be talking about all of it. I mean, like the craziest of the crazy breaking news. So there you go. And what else? I had something else that I was going to discuss with you guys. And now I just can't remember. Oh. And I don't have the title for it. Earlier today, I saw a documentary that I've never seen before, narrated by Rod Serling. Now, before you say anything, yes, he's done a couple, and I've seen those. The Disney one, and there was another one. This one I had never seen before. Really good, with a focus on Nazca, which Ancient Aliens, Chariots of the Gods, and going point for point through there. But to have something from the early 70s with him was pretty cool. It was well done. Well done. Felt like it could have been just done today. You know, some of the guys that were interviewed in it too as well, very fuzzy, low quality, early 70s stuff, but guys I had never seen before. It was really good. I can't believe I remembered earlier today that I wanted to talk about it, and I don't have the title. What are you going to do? All right, here we go. It's Fader Night, Thursday night. John Rappaport's going to be here. Let's do this. We're going live in 2, 1.
Bespoke radio for the masses.
Headline edition, July 8, 1947. The Army Air Forces has announced that a flying disc has been found and is now in the possession of the Army.
If the game is rigged, change the game. Game changer.
I occasionally think how quickly our differences worldwide would vanish if we were facing an alien threat from outside this world.
This is Fade to Black with your host, Jimmy Church, on the Game Changer Radio Network and KGRA, the Global Radio Alliance.
I need your help to get to the year 1985. You're listening to Fade to Black with Jimmy Church on the Game Changer Network.
Well. Here we are. Fade to Black. Bespoke radio for the masses. Yeah, man. It's Thursday. It's Thursday, July 26, 2018. 208 days into the new year. 157 days left. We are live from a bunker somewhere in beautiful downtown Burbank, California. And I would like to welcome everybody listening all around the world, all across the United States. Hither and thither, to and fro, back and forth, up and down, east and west, north and south, far and near. This is Fade to Black for KJCR, the Game Changer Network, and KGRA, the Planets. I'm your host, Jimmy Church. What is cracking, everybody? How you doing? It is Thursday. Open lines all night long. It is Fader Night. We've got John Rappaport here in his No More Fake Newsroom Live. Followed by open lines all night long. The call-in numbers are 323-825-5045. Write that down. 323-275-9695. Write that down. We've added a third phone line, 818-921-6929. Write that down. 3 phone lines. If you can't get through on that, ain't my problem. It just ain't. We're going to add a 4th. I can already see that coming. Welcome, everybody. Thursday night, Fader Night, my favorite night of the week. Open lines all night long. Lots to talk about. I'll be setting the tables for that. And, of course, it's your show. It's funny. Other talk shows, I listen to talk radio. I do live, terrestrial talk radio. That's what I do. I listen to it. Our local stations here, too, as well, like KFI AM 640, one of the biggest stations in the country, where we also air Coast to Coast AM. And I'll ride around and I'll hear, this is your talk show. Yeah, no, it's not. It's just not. Am I talking smack? The truth is everything is screened, and it's not. That's not the way I do it here. Okay? I just don't. Calls come in, I put it on hold, and I take it. That is your talk show. Whatever you want to talk about. Okay? Now, especially the stuff that I've got lined up for you tonight, there's going to be a lot of calls about this, but if you've had any sightings, if you've had anything paranormal or supernatural happen, not only in the past that you want to share with us, but recently, anything crazy or nutty going on, I do want to hear from you. 323-825-5045 or 323-275-9695 or 818-921-6929. Yes, we've added a third phone line. Amazing show last night with Billy Carson. Incredible. Our show this week with Curtis Don Vito, unbelievable, and just such a special week that we've had here on the show. So everything is open and all subjects are there. I didn't get a chance to do much today. I was doing some other stuff, and I was following up on all of this breaking news today too, and it was pretty crazy. So I did some reading. I didn't get a chance to write, but I did do some reading over at On Stellar and a couple of really good articles that are over there. And I also want to mention that Steve Neal, But Something Is There, his new series, he has just started an Indiegogo campaign, and that started today. So that post was over at On Stellar. I've got it up here in Twitter. If you guys want to go and help out with the new series, that would be really cool. So you can go and do that. It's up there on Twitter. And there was a great article over at On Stellar today. Well, there was a few, but one, Alex Mistretta, great researcher, great friend. A bunker cam issue. You guys. The article by Alex Mistretta was a photograph that was taken at Santa Monica Pier. Okay? So you need to go and check that out. Go and read it and look at the picture that is there. I made my comments, but it's a great picture. And that's what On Stellar is for. You should go look at that and look at the object that was captured above the Ferris wheels. Pretty cool. So that was there. And also, Steve Murillo posted Buzz Aldrin, and I'm going to get to that here in just a second. So if you haven't gone and signed up yet, you should do that now. OnStellar, OnStellar.com. You can use my referral code, Jimmy, and it's right there. Okay. Let's see. Where am I at? Twitter is at JChurchRadio. Facebook is chugging along. More on Facebook in just a minute. And, of course, YouTube. You can subscribe to our channel there. Just go now to follow, like, and subscribe. Everything over at jimmychurchradio.com. And we fixed so many different bugs that were going wrong with our website. And we didn't think they were bugs. It's kind of weird. Anyway, so the website is perfect. We've gotten, well, it's as perfect as it can be. So all of the memberships are straightened out. All of the links, there was a couple of links that were unsecure, just weird stuff, and it was causing errors. And it was viewable one place and not another. It's just very strange. Anyway, so all of that is done, and I feel really good about that. And the ordering of T-shirts and the memberships and renewals and everything are all automated now and shipping. So it's all very, very cool. So head over to jimmychurchradio.com. A bunch of breaking news today. It was absolutely nuts. First off, tonight, Mark Zuckerberg is $16 billion poorer than he was when he got up this morning. At breakfast this morning, he had a net worth of $71 billion. 71 billion ducks quacking in the pond. By dinner time, 55. Facebook lost 19% of its value in about 5 minutes today, dropped to 20%, and then gained a little back, finished the day down 19%, which calculates out to about $119 billion vaporized today for Facebook. It was the worst day for any company in stock market history. Seriously. And if that wasn't enough, now they attribute it to a lot of different things, and I'm going through the analysis. If Facebook has had a steady increase, and since Cambridge Analytica, which it actually dropped below this, but it took longer to get there. Today was just a straight drop. You go back to Cambridge Analytica and you look, and the stock, continued to go up. But after Cambridge Analytica, there is a steady drop of users for Facebook. A steady drop. A drop in the UK, a drop in Europe, and here in the States, it's been flat. Okay? Now that is what is alarming everybody. The comments that Zuck has made, and apparently, I guess he's Jewish, or he said he was Jewish, Zuckerberg, right? Okay. But those comments he made about the Holocaust, you can't do that kind of stuff, man. You can't. Not if you're the CEO of one of the biggest companies in the world. You just don't do that kind of stuff. You don't do it. You don't do it. Whether you think you're right or wrong, there's certain places where you just don't go. And this is the truth. This is the truth. When it comes to that kind of wealth, God giveth, God taketh awayeth. It's the truth. And his wealth based on stock, it's not like, he took a stock in the company and just sold it all out and he's got this money sitting in the bank. His wealth is based on the stock. And if the stock goes down to $1, he's worth nothing. So think about that. And so all of this ginormous wealth of his, it took a big, big hit today. And he fell, he was at number 5 in the world, I think. Forbes does a real-time billionaire monitor. Real time, right? So anytime anything fluctuates, Bezos has gone up and down when Amazon has gone up and down. But he dropped, and in that billionaire club like that, those guys, it means a lot to them. And he tumbled. I think he tumbled 2-3 spots today. So there you go. It's not just about the data mining and Cambridge Analytica, which has something to do with it. It does, but the stock regained its footing since the Cambridge announcement. But it's everything else. It's everything else. And the advertising sales on that news feed have gone down. They've dropped. So, and that's a big chunk of their market. And the other big chunk of their market is mobile. I had read today 91% of Facebook's income, mobile advertising. Yep, you scrolling on your cell phone and clicking on ads and buying stuff. There you go. All right, also today, excuse me, there's a 2015 video going viral today with Buzz Aldrin and an 8-year-old girl, and she asked him, she says, and I'm quoting, "Why didn't we go back to the moon, Buzz?" And his answer, and I'm quoting, is this. His answer is, and I'm quoting, "That's not an 8-year-old's question. That's my question. I want to know. But I think I know, because we didn't go there. And that's why it happened. And if it didn't happen, it's nice to know why it didn't happen. So in the future, if we want to keep doing something, we need to know why something stopped in the past. We wanted to keep going." End quote. Huh? What? Now, before you think the video's edited or it's funky or that's not really what he said, no. That is exactly what Buzz said. And I went back and I watched it over and over again. I'm watching it. I'm trying to figure it out. I'm trying to, give Buzz some, and that's what he said. Now, did he trip up in his own mind and say something that he didn't mean to say? Possibly. I mean, that's possible. In fact, I'm hoping that's what happened, because he says, "'Cause we didn't go there." That's what he says. He doesn't stumble. He just looks at her and says, "Hey, that's not an 8-year-old question. That's my question. I want to know, but I think I know, 'cause we didn't go there." He didn't say 'cause we didn't go back. He says 'cause we didn't go there. It's crazy. It's crazy. I don't know. I just don't know. It'd be different if it was cut up and it was pieced together and it's one sentence. So there you go. It went viral. It's been picked up. It's a 2015 video. I am sure it's not what he meant to say. Or was he just being straight with an 8-year-old? And didn't think he'd get out? Or is he just ready to talk about it? Or was it just a mistake in that he just spoke his mind? He drifted off for a second and just spoke the truth. Right? I don't know. It's a crazy video, though. You can check it out over at On Stellar in the trending articles section. Look at Bart Seibel right there getting socked. Getting socked by Buzz Aldrin. All right. Check this out. Some things you're not going to believe. Okay? And I get that. But just listen. Two worms that have been frozen in permafrost for up to 47,000 years have come back to life and are now considered the oldest living animals on planet Earth. The ancient nematodes, a.k.a. roundworms, are moving and eating. They are moving and eating again for the first time since the Pleistocene age, after coming back to life in Petri dishes. And this is from the official announcement today by Russian scientists in collaboration with Princeton University. Unbelievable. 47,000 years old. That is crazy. Now, I contemplated that. I was looking at the pictures today, and I am just contemplating. That is about as nutty as it gets. Now, okay. Natasha Nix, who I met and hung out with, did an interview with at Contact in the Desert, created a promo for her show and sent it to me today. And I have to play it for you. You ready? You ready for this? Here it goes.
And you're going to go, wow, that was great. You know what? It actually sucked.
One more time.
And you're going to go, wow, that was great. You know what? It actually sucked.
I really said it. That was during the interview. One more time.
And you're going to go, wow, that was great. You know what? It actually sucked.
I'm going to say this. I don't like my own voice. I don't. I can't listen to it. I don't think I'm funny. But you know, that is funny. And the way that she took a little piece of the interview and I gotta say, if I heard that as somebody's promo, it doesn't matter who it is, I would laugh. One more time.
And you're going to go, wow, that was great. You know what? It actually sucked.
I got to get her permission to use me on this show. I'm going to ask her if I can use that. That's her. She owns it. But that's cool, man. I think I'm going to drop that in to Fade to Black.
And you're going to go, wow, that was great. You know what? It actually sucked.
That's funny. That's funny. All right. Here we go. It's Thursday night. It is Fader. That makes me laugh. That is just too funny. Okay. All right. A couple of things that I want to do. Don't forget our Soul Tech gathering. I'll talk about a little bit more later on tonight. It is Fader night. And if you're going to Soul Tech, give me a call. I do want to talk to you. We are getting ready to post up at Soul Tech gathering complete book, PDF outline of all events, everything there. Really nicely done. And that's getting ready. So the complete schedule, everything is there. And I have it too, by the way, but I'm not going to read from it. I'll let you read it for yourself. But head to soultechgathering.com. That's going to be posted. Also, if you're thinking about going, it is my understanding we've got about 10 tickets left. And that's where it is. I believe that's where it's at. So you want to go to Soul Tech Gathering and get it done. Also, if you already purchased tickets, I'll talk about this a little bit later, but you haven't gotten your food and the catering straightened out, you need to head over to soultechgathering.com and get all of that ready. And one other note, we're going to be shooting a documentary while this is going on, okay, of everything. So be prepared for that. And if you've ever wanted to appear and be a part of something like this, not only this kind of conference, but a documentary too as well, now's your chance too. So there you go, soultechgathering.com. And it's just going to be great. Everything that we have got lined up. I'll talk more about that later on this evening. August 17th through the 19th, which is a week later, I'll be at Dimensions of Disclosure in Colorado. Dimensionsofdisclosure.com. I'll be hosting the big panel on Sunday night. Come and hang out with us. Corey Good, David Wilcock, Emery Smith, Teresa Yanaris. It's going to be amazing. 20 other speakers, dimensionsofdisclosure.com. Don't forget to sign up to our podcast. We have over 895 archive shows, custom apps, Apple, Android, all platforms, just $2 per month. Updated every single day. Great apps, too. Now, you can also become a Fadernaut at our membership section on the site, where you get the bunker cam. You get commercial-free downloadable archives. And if you get the Game Changer, you can even get that Fade to Black gear, autographed hats, all that stuff. We don't sell the hats. We don't give the hats away. We don't do it. The new shirts, the new ones for the renewals, the only place to get those is becoming a Game Changer or renewing your Game Changer. All of that is in our membership section. Plus, you get a personal private email to me. And don't forget about all of our sponsors. Life Change Tea, GetTheTea.com, Ancient Life Oil, Sacred Skulls, New Mana Food Storage, and Bearing Optics. I've got to say this really quick. Happy birthday today to Mick Jagger. Mick Jagger is 75 years old. Helen Mirren today is 73. Jason Statham today, 51. Lock, Stock, and Two Smoking Barrels, right? Snatch, Revolver, trying to think. Transporter. The first Transporter was good. Our dead guy's birthday today, Stanley Kubrick. 1928 to 1999, died at the age of 70. Director, cinematographer, screenwriter. Each of his films are classics and are at the top of their genre, including, of course, the 1968 sci-fi film 2001: A Space Odyssey, the seminal 1980 horror The Shining, the 1971 crime drama A Clockwork Orange, the 1964 political satire Dr. Strangelove, or How I Learned to Stop Worrying and Love the Bomb, and the ultimate war drama 1987's Full Metal Jacket. On March 7th, 1999, 6 days after screening a final cut of Eyes Wide Shut for his family and the stars of the film, Kubrick died in his sleep at the age of 70 after suffering a major heart attack. Happy birthday, Stanley. Truly the greatest. On this day in history, 1947, the big year, right? 1947, Truman signs the National Security Act, which did 3 things. It created the Department of Defense. Number 2, it created the NSC, the National Security Council. And number 3, created the CIA, the Central Intelligence Agency, designed not only to gather intelligence, but to carry out covert operations in foreign nations. Fader fact. Here you go. Here you go. Fader fact. You ready? It's a good one. This is one you didn't know. Bluetooth technology was named after a 10th century king. King Harold Bluetooth. King of Denmark and Norway at the same time, united both countries. Now, yes, he had a Bluetooth. Literally, he had a Bluetooth, hence his name. The Bluetooth logo, and you always wondered what that was, right? The Bluetooth logo are the Scandinavian runes of his initials, H and B. And that is a Fader fact. See, I guarantee you didn't know that. I had to go and do all this research, and I'm putting all of this together, and I'm looking at his initials and Scandinavian runes, and putting it all together. I'm like, wow, I can go public with this. I'm feeling pretty good about it. He had a little blue snaggletooth. Yeah. King Harold Bluetooth of Denmark and Norway. All right. Before I get out of here, got about a minute left. I plan on talking more about this. I'll do it during the show. This Buzz Aldrin film clip is bothering me, and it should bother you. It should bother everybody out there. Now, what does it do for all of those conspiracy theorists out there, right? Is this the bullet in the gun, right? Is this it? Is this the aha moment? I'm not so sure. But of all of the slip-ups that you could make, and he socked Bart Seibel, right? And he's been very adamant about this. He's also been outspoken about the monolith on Phobos around Mars, wearing his "We Got to Go to Mars" t-shirts, right? Take my ass to Mars, or whatever that shirt says. And he's been out there. So he knows where not to go with this. And his statement that he made to this 8-year-old little girl was the exact opposite of what he should have said. Not only that, but it was exactly word for word what the conspiracy theorists needed. And it just begs to ask the question, what was going on and why the slip up? Was he thinking the truth in his head? Was he thinking the truth, meant to say something else to her, right? And, toe the company line. And then the truth just slipped out. I don't know. That video is tough to defend. It's tough. Now, obviously, there's got to be some public stuff said about this. I don't know if NASA is going to address it. I don't know if Buzz is going to address it. But it was done in 2015, and it just never surfaced. It just never made it out. Now it's out. It's a very, very interesting statement because it's the exact opposite of what is supposed to have been said. Interesting. All right, let's get out of here. Let's get the show started. Tonight, John Rappaport is here with his No More Fake Newsroom Live, followed by open lines all night long. I get it. The calls are already coming in. You guys need to relax. I'm going to open up the phone lines at the top of the hour. This is Fade to Black. I'm your host, Jimmy Church. We added a new phone line, too. 818-921-6929 or 323-825-5045 or 323-275-9695. This is Fade to Black. I'm your host, Jimmy Church. We're right back with John Rappaport and his No More Fake Newsroom live. It's Fade to Black. I'll be right back.
You're listening to Jimmy Church, Fade to Black.
Fade to Black will now pause for alien identification.
The station that talks the net. KGRA Radio.
When you take the beans from Central America with dashes of Indonesian and African mixed in and then roast it to the dark side of Fade to Black, you create the ultimate brew of fringe. Introducing the Fade to Black blend from River Moon Coffee. Yes, River Moon's darkest customized roast was created for the love of Fade to Black. The alchemy of masterful roasting and smoking the beans is in every sip of this full-bodied, dark Java. I need my coffee dark, deep, with distinct bittersweet chocolate highlights, just like the bunker. Leaning further into the darkness of the roast is Fade to Black blend from River Moon Coffee. Just click on the banner at jimmychurchradio.com and use the promo code F2BBLEND for 15% off of your order today. Go Beckley Teppy.
What can I say about the most popular tea on the internet? And what do customers say about Life Change Tea at getthetea.com? A lot. But by federal law, we at getthetea.com cannot make claims to how this product can enhance your health. We cannot even post our testimonies without being in compliance. So how do we get past the hump? Try our products at getthetea.com and see for yourself. You can send us a testimony, but we just can't post it. Bummer. Our products are GMO-free and organic. We pride ourselves in being the best we can be, and we urge you to take charge of your health. We're 11 years strong, and many of our customers have shared their successes with friends and family. Protect your colon. Log on to getthetea.com. That's getthetea.com. Getthetea.com. Getthetea.com.
Black is not your father's radio show on the Game Changer Radio Network and KGRA, The Planet.
Win big with KGRA this summer. Tickets and hotel accommodations to the biggest conferences, autographed books and DVDs, chances to win all-inclusive conference cruises, and private dinners with your favorite KGRA hosts. Click the contest tab at kgraradio.com for your chance to win big this summer. Your contact for the best alternative talk radio on the planet. kgraradio.com.
Hi, this is Rob Reiner from Anvil, and you're listening to JimmyChurchRadio.com.
What's up? I'm Chris. What up? This is Kyle Massey, and you're listening to Jimmy Church Radio.
And now, coming to you from the No More Fake newsroom in deep space, which is the space that we suspect to be true, that the world as it is fed to us every day by the Ministry of Truth is a lie. A false reality, a movie projected on the screen of our subconscious. This, however, is the breakout. All the screens crash, they all go down, and we see the light of day. A new day. No more robots, no more androids. It's the No More Fake Newsroom with John Rappaport. Take it away, John.
Thank you, Jimmy. Thank you. Very good to be here, as always. So tonight, there's a big story, a big piece of history, and it's illustrative of what I've been writing about for a long time called the limited hangout, where the press exposed part of the story. In fact, they may expose a key element or two or three of the story that seems to be very devastating in its impact and so on and so forth, but in fact, what's happening is they're only giving you a piece of something that is much bigger and much worse. That's called a limited hangout. And the motive behind a limited hangout is, well, if we feed them this much, meaning the public, they'll go away. They'll be satisfied. They'll think they have the whole story. They'll be shocked. There might even be an investigation or two, but eventually it'll all fade out, and that's the end of that. So as I go over the details of this story tonight, you as reporters think of the follow-up questions that you would be asking, how you would be digging as investigators if you were given free rein by a major newspaper or media outlet over a long period of time with no holds barred, and how much more you would want to dig into this story than what I'm giving you here. U.S. ships biowarfare materials to Iraq. That's the header on this. We're talking about the 1980s during the period of the Iran-Iraq War, which was a devastating war on both sides and ended up in a kind of a stalemate, ceasefire, 1988. The U.S. was backing both sides, but preferred Iraq. They definitely did not want Iraq to be decimated and destroyed and lose that war. Strange, because only a few years later, the U.S. declared war on Iraq. Gulf War I. Okay? But now, here we go. All right, so we know that in 1975, U.S. signed on to an international treaty banning the production, use, and stockpiling of biological weapons, and ditto for chemical weapons in 1993. That's another story. But here we go. A quote from the Washington Post, September 4th, 2013. The administrations of Ronald Reagan and George H.W. Bush authorized the sale to Iraq of numerous items, including poisonous chemicals and deadly biological viruses such as anthrax and bubonic plague. End quote. Between 1985 and 1989, a U.S. 501c3 firm, nonprofit called American Type Culture Collection, sent Iraq up to 70 shipments of various biowar agents, including 21 strains of anthrax. Between 1984 and 1989, get this, the CDC, Centers for Disease Control, sent Iraq at least 80 different biowar agents, including botulinum toxoid, dengue virus, and West Nile. So, in case you're still wondering why I or anyone else would doubt the veracity and sincerity and honesty and honorableness of the CDC, just think about that. Between 1984 and 1989, the CDC sent Iraq at least 80 different biowar agents. Quite incredible. This information on the American Type Culture Collection and the CDC comes from a report, Iraq's Biological Weapons Program, prepared by the James Martin Center for Non-Proliferation Studies. Now, another one of the investigators into this whole issue is William Blum. In an April 1998 Progressive article called Anthrax for Export, Blum cites a 1994 U.S. Senate report confirming that in this period of 1985-89, U.S. shipments of anthrax and other biowar agents to Iraq were licensed by the U.S. Department of Commerce. And here from this Senate report is a quote. These biological materials were not attenuated or weakened and were capable of reproduction. It was later learned that these microorganisms exported by the United States were identical to those the United Nations inspectors found and removed from the Iraqi biological warfare program. End quote. Okay. This 1994 Senate report also indicates that the U.S. exported to Iraq the precursors for chem war agents, actual plans for chemical and biowarfare production facilities, and chemical warhead filling equipment. The exports continued until at least November 28, 1989. Blum lists a few other biowar agents the U.S. shipped to Iraq: Histoplasma capsulatum, Brucella, Clostridium, etc., as well as E. coli, various genetic materials, human and bacterial DNA. Bum, 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 bum. Blum also points out that a 1994 Pentagon report dismissed any connection between all these biowar agents and Gulf War illness. Remember that, Gulf War illness? Many vets suffered from it and still do. But the researcher who headed up that study, exonerating, claiming there was no connection between biowar agents and Gulf War disease, the researcher who headed up that study that made that claim, Joshua Lederberg, was actually a director of the U.S. firm that had provided the most biowar material to Iraq in the 1980s, the American Type Culture Collection. Wow. And we can go on. And this, it just boggles my mind. as I'm reading this to you, even though I've read it many times myself and I've written it. Oh, boy. Then we had U.S. companies which dealt biowar or chem war agents to Iraq, all such sales having been approved by the U.S. government. The names of these companies are contained in records of the 1992 Senate hearings on the subject, and there are some of these: Solaire Corporation, Pure Air Corporation, Posey Seal, Union Carbide, Evapco, BDM Corp, Spectre Physics, and about a dozen more corporations. Also from the Blum article, quote, hold on to your hats for this one. A larger number of American firms supplied Iraq with the specialized computers, lasers, testing and analyzing equipment, and other instruments and hardware vital to the manufacture of nuclear weapons, missiles, and delivery systems. Computers in particular play a key role in nuclear weapons development. Advanced computers make it feasible to avoid carrying out nuclear test explosions, thus preserving the program's secrecy. Nuclear. Getting into nuclear. Okay. There's more. I write, officials at the CDC and the Department of Commerce said nothing. People at the American Type Culture Collection said nothing. People at the Pentagon and the CIA and the NSA said nothing. Presidents said nothing. Employees of the corporation who supplied germs and chemicals to Iraq said nothing. So just imagine if you were an investigative reporter and you go and, say you're working for, the Miami Herald, Washington Post, New York Times, and magically, and I do mean that, it would have to be magic, overnight, the editor of the paper calls you into his office and says, okay, I realize that, we've been acting like a bunch of scum, basically, for all these years, but we are now taking the wraps off of you, and we are going to carry out our mission as reporters, digging for deeper levels of truth. And this story about U.S. shipments of biowar materials to Iraq begs for deeper investigation. In particular, we're going to start off by focusing on the role of the CDC that shipped dozens of biowar agents, materials to Iraq, because that is just mind-boggling. That the Centers for Disease Control would have these materials, what are they doing with them, and that they would ship them in quantity to Iraq. I want you boys to go out there and find out. I want you to dig. I want you to tap your connections. I want you to find people at the CDC that will talk to you. I want you to find people who were there during these years in the 1980s who will talk to you. I want you to find people who will roll over on their higher-ups at the CDC. I want to expose every nerve, root, muscle, tendon, ligament of the CDC program and find out and get to the bottom of this story. Ditto for the U.S. Department of Commerce, who had to okay the shipments. But I want to start, in particular, with the CDC. Because they're supposed to be all about health, enhancing health. Good science, good medicine, first do no harm. These are not stupid people. they know that opening Pandora's box and letting out this vast collection of biowar agents would have repercussions decades and decades and decades, because who knows where all these materials wind up? Who knows who has them now? Find out. We're paying you to be reporters. Go out there and do your job. For real. We'll be printing stories as you pull in evidence. But that will not stop. This is not a limited hangout, boys and girls. We are not going to just expose a scandal and say a dark chapter in American history, but, of course, we moved on. No, we're going to pull this sucker up by the roots, because it stands to reason that some nexus of deep corruption that exists at one of the premier health agencies in the world, the CDC, still exists in some form or another, and we need to root it out. So there's a very good chance that your investigation of the CDC in this respect will spill over into uncovering other secrets of the agency, past and present, that add up to a similar level of corruption. I mean, this is unthinkable, this program that we're talking about here, of shipping bio-war materials and nuclear support materials to Iraq. And think of all the tap dancing that went on leading up to both Gulf Wars in Iraq that had to do with weapons of mass destruction. And how in all of the investigations by the inspectors and all of the lying that was done in order to justify going in there the second time about weapons of mass destruction, you never heard any conversation from major media or the politicians about the program that I'm discussing here now. This was never raised. It was a taboo. Oh, we don't talk about that. Oh, no. We're not going to get into that. No. We're not going to suddenly emphasize the fact that many of these WMDs in Iraq really were bio-war and were supplied by the U.S. with the consent and participation of the Centers for Disease Control. That would sort of be on a level of your doctor telling you, don't worry, whatever these symptoms you have are, you'll be getting the best treatment from me and so forth. And by the way, I just want to let you know, in case you think it's relevant, that 25 years ago I was instrumental in shipping bio-war materials to Iraq. Is that a problem? Would that give you pause for thought? Might you have a second thought about seeing this doctor? Or if he turned out to also be a researcher, publishing studies on the safety and efficacy of vaccines, might you have doubts about his honesty and truthfulness? Oh, there are so many questions that open up here, you see. So many questions. The purpose of the revelations that we know about compose the limited hangout. They exist to keep everyone from asking, demanding answers to the obvious follow-up questions that are never asked by reporters. That's the way a limited hangout works. What do we have to admit to get this whole thing to go away? How much, and of course the CIA, for example, is an expert at this. Okay, so this operation has come to light that we fomented. How much do we have to admit publicly to the press, etc., in order for people to feel like, okay, that's the end of that and we can move on now? And whatever the decision is, that's the limited hangout. That becomes the limited hangout. We hang out with a limited version of the whole story. And the whole story, as you can see, is much, much bigger. And that is my report for tonight.
Oh, John, and thank you for that. I had on the show, this is about 3 years ago, I would have to go back, and this is what's great about having you on. I never know, and I don't want to know what you're going to discuss. I want to be blindsided with this along with the audience and, share the outrage, right? But so I did a show about 3 years ago with, I think he was a sergeant in the Army deployed, and he made these statements that and I believe it was the international airport, right? Whatever it was, Saddam International or whatever they call it.
Right, yeah.
And so they're closing in, and the Iraqi army is, trying to have a last stand there. But while they were there, they came across some weapons in shells, I believe. I'd have to go back and listen. But anyway, he goes, and they were chemical weapons with our logos on them, right? And I think it was somebody from the CIA, some handler, some controller came up and said, okay, we need to destroy this stuff. And I have to go back and listen to the entire thing, but that, it was the exact opposite of what we were being told.
Yes. Now, I've read that exact scenario from several different sources, just exactly what you're saying. In the version that I recall the clearest, the reaction was, this must never be known, that these chemical weapons, biological weapons, whatever, carry U.S. signatures and labels on. So very good in discovering them. Now you must never speak about the fact that they came from the U.S. That this was the reaction of the field supervisors when their guys discovered this stuff over there. So yeah, no question about it. Absolutely.
And the other part of this is there's got to be a money trail. Yep. Were we giving this stuff to Saddam's regime, or were we selling it to Saddam's regime?
Yeah. It looks like we were giving it. Now, here's another real interesting thread that, in an ideal world, we would have reporters all over this. The American Type Culture Collection, a 501c3 nonprofit group, they sent the most materials, biowar materials, to Iraq. Who are these people? I mean, what are they doing with all this stuff? They seem to be a sort of a hybrid organization, a nonprofit, yet part of the government or a very close government contractor, repository, blah, blah, blah. It looks to me like this was given, like foreign aid, military aid. I may be wrong, and there's usually a money trail somewhere. Somebody's making money off of this.
That's right.
I don't know who in this case, but that's, another line to follow. Who made the money?
And there's the other part of the CDC that I've always found alarming is that all of the little laboratories around the country, these little startups that are creating vaccines, whatever it is, right? You're going to go fight Ebola. And they announce, that these small, little, 3, 4, 5 researchers, and they're working on the stuff. Next thing you know, the stock goes up. The company is valued at $100 million, and then the vaccines are never created, but somebody's profiteering off of that. And then the company goes nowhere, and it seems to disappear. But the CDC is in the business of inflating stock prices for these individuals that take the money and run. And it could be the same situation here with this, where the CDC is indirectly profiting or having other people make money on this to do this program and make it run. Right? It seems like it's the same business model for them.
Yes. Somewhere I remember reading the stock market valuation of certain companies at the time, I believe, went up. Companies allied with the production of these materials.
Right.
Yeah. So, because, and this is true of your federal government in general, I mean, depending upon who gets the federal contracts, this is going to affect stock prices.
That's it. That's it. Right? It happens over and over again. And you look at something like this, it's like, well, the CDC's been doing this for a long time. And any little company, right, that announces these massive federal contracts that they've just closed, boom, suddenly their valuation goes through the roof. Look what happened in Puerto Rico, right? One person gets a $25 million, whatever it is, contract to deliver water, right, or whatever it is, and suddenly they have a company that's worth a ton of money. Now they've got to go hire employees, and everything is good. It's the same thing here, and it's over and over again. We're on a treadmill, right? We just keep walking through this, and it's never going to stop. Never.
No, because government. I mean, all governments, but especially the United States federal government. They collect taxes, they print money out of thin air. Money is available in gigantic gobs and slabs, and there are contracts to be let out, and people to make money, and congressmen to go home to say to their buddies, we got you the bridge, we got you the road, we got you this. Government money's coming your way. I'm your hero. And if it's bio-war materials that are the subject of the thing, oh, well, somebody's making money. Let's do it. Let's be the ones to make the money.
Unbelievable. John, thank you so much, man. It just watch your back. That's all I got to say, man.
Thank you, Jimmy. All is well.
I'll talk to you, and we'll see you next Thursday. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
John Rappaport. Start your day off every single day the way I do at nomorefakenews.com. And talking about making announcements and inflating stock prices, I've just got in the new announcement from Tom DeLonge and To the Stars Academy of Arts and Science. I'll read you the entire announcement when we come back. Stay with us. It's Fade to Black. I'm your host, Jimmy Church. Thursday night, Fader Night, opening up the phone lines now.
This is Fade to Black with Jimmy Church on the Game Changer Radio Network and KGRA, the Global Radio Alliance.
This is KGRA Digital Broadcasting Station, Salt Lake City, Utah, Van Buren, Arkansas.
Does your basement or crawl space have a damp, musty smell? Well, watch out! That's a sign of too much moisture and not enough ventilation. And that can mean increased mold growth and the buildup of harmful toxins and gases. Don't bother with a dehumidifier. It just circulates the same unhealthy air. Now there's a better way to remove these dangers and odors. It's with the computerized Wave Moisture Control Unit that reduces moisture and expels pollutants.
We replaced our old dehumidifier with the Wave unit, and in only 3 weeks, our basement is dry and the musty smell smell is gone.
Wave units require no maintenance, no buckets of water or filters, and costs only pennies a day to run. Breathe better, live healthier with an affordable, no-maintenance Wave unit. Call 888-717-WAVE, 888-717-WAVE, or visit dryhealthyhome.com. dryhealthyhome.com.
Ride the wave. Wave Home Solutions for a healthy, comfortable home.
Hello, I'm Katie and you're listening to my main man, Jimmy Church, on jimmychurchradio.com.
Hi, this is Ray Hobbs here, repping the planet, and you're listening to my good friend, Jimmy Church, Fade to Black, on the Game Changer Network and the KGRA digital broadcast station.
This is Toby Kebbell. You're listening to jimmychurchradio.com. Don't hurt me, Jimmy. I'm only little.
Hey, I'm Adrian Grenier. And this is Ari Gold. We're the Honey Brothers. We're of the Honey Brothers. Hey, I'm Adrian Grenier.
And I'm Ari Gold.
We're the Honey Brothers.
And you're listening to Jimmy Church.
The Revolution.
Ancient Life Oil. Life-changing. The real oil. CBD is truly ancient life oil from the source. This oil has no psychoactive effect and is also legal in all 50 states. When you're healthy, you're happy. The truth about this wonderful plant is that it wants to give back to mankind life, longevity, and happiness. Ancient Life Oil are golden grade, all organic, non-GMO, and infused with high-quality liquid coconut oil. It's simple. Just go to ancientlifeoil.com today. That's ancientlifeoil.com. The best, purest, organic, and non-GMO CBD in the world. Go Beckley Tappy. The statements made regarding these products have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. These products are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. Please consult your healthcare professional about potential interactions or other possible complications before using any product.
This is Micah Hanks of the Gralien Report, and you're listening to Jimmy Church on Fade to Black, across the globe on the Game Changer Radio Network and the one and only KGRA Radio, The Planet.
All right, welcome back. Fade to Black. Thursday night, Fader Night. Favorite night of the week. I'm your host, Jimmy Church. Open lines all night long. 3 phone numbers. 323-825-5045 or 323-275-9695 or 818-921-6929. All right, if you're on hold, stay right there. Let's see. Okay, everybody's lined up. If you're on hold, stay right there. I'll get to the phone calls in just a minute. I announced right before the break, Tom DeLonge just released this statement, and I'm just going to read it to you. To the Stars Academy of Arts and Science announces the ADAM, A-D-A-M, research project, an academic research program focused on exotic materials for technology innovation. I'm not sure what that means. That's the headline. Here is the announcement. Investors and friends, today we announced the launch of our flagship research program, the ADAM Research Project, and our partnership with Earth Tech International, earthtech.org, a pioneering research organization in Austin, Texas, at the forefront of next-generation science and technology. Project ADAM, an acronym for Acquisition of Data Analysis of Materials, will focus on the collection and scientific evaluation of material samples obtained through reliable reports of advanced aerospace vehicles of unknown origin. We are overwhelmed by the reception of world-class team that has received since the launch of the company and are confident in our ability to be among the leading research teams focused on trying to answer some of the biggest questions of our lifetime. We have been busy the past few months setting up infrastructure and operations. We have been fortunate to have incredible people reaching out to us from all over the globe to collaborate in our scientific exploration and are committed to the thoughtful, open-minded approach to our endeavor. None of this would be possible without your continued support, for which we are grateful. We look forward to sharing our journey with you. Signed, Tom DeLong, CEO to the Stars Academy of Arts and Science, released on this day, July 26, 2018. Sent out at 3:39 p.m., by the way. So, what do you make of that? What do you make of that statement? That is very, very interesting. I'm not sure quite how to. Now, I've read through it a few times, and it. I want your comments. Let's go to the phones. Hi, you're live on Fade to Black. Who's calling? You're up first.
Inquire within, Jimmy.
How are you, man?
I'm doing great. I'm looking forward to Soul Tech and crushing everyone at Cards Against Humanity.
Cards Against Humanity. That's some fun stuff, isn't it?
Yeah, that I was pretty stoked when I saw that Rita had posted that was going on, and then that Twitter feed of her posting that got a little out of hand there. So that was a good warm-up of what's to come.
Yeah, and did you see the Richard Dawkins card flip? Did you see that one?
I'm not sure if I did.
Okay, it's just funny because everything that I say on this, Richard Dawkins is my favorite guy to bag on, right? So, and watching these flip, you know what? Rita should post it up again in Twitter because I don't want to get it wrong. But you need to go and see it. It is really, really funny, and it's got this fade to black. I don't know how to put it. It's got this fade to black connection. Okay, so when you read it, you go, wait, what are the odds of that? Right. So anyway, we'll get that up there. But it's funny, man. It's a fun and funny. It's just hilarious.
No, I think, unfortunately, with all the great stuff going on at Soul Tech, somehow that became my most exciting part of it, which I don't know if that's a good or a bad thing on my end because there's really great things happening, and I'm just thinking, oh man, Cards Against Humanity, here we go.
Right.
Huh.
Right. And did you?
Well, I do have.
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, go ahead.
No, it's your phone call. You go.
Oh, Jimmy, you're too kind to me. One thing I had on my mind today with all the talk of disclosure, UFOs, all the crazy stuff going on. It's been a while since I've heard about paranormal stuff in the kind of ghostly way. So I was wondering, I'm sure you've probably said it 100 times on air before, but what is the most crazy paranormal thing that you've experienced or seen?
That my craziest paranormal experience, as opposed to UFO or just
like in the outside of the UFO world.
I have two. I have the. Okay, I'll tell you the. You know what? I'm going to tell you the rock and roll one. How's that? Okay. I got a rock and roll one, and this is what happened. I'm producing a concert at the country club in Reseda, and after the show that night, and we had all the big bands. Rough Cut played that night, and I'm just trying to think. It doesn't matter. So this is back in like 1987. And so After the show, I'm driving to my girlfriend's house in Hollywood. Okay, and she lived in a back house. This is 30 years ago. And she lived in this back house. And so it's 2:00 in the morning. The club closed, and I immediately jumped in my car and split because we were meeting a bunch of friends over at, an after party kind of thing, right? Okay, so I jump in my car, and I didn't want to be late. And I get to Hollywood probably at about 2:30 in the morning. And I was expecting everybody to be there, but they weren't yet. And I pull into the driveway, and I pull to the house, the back house. The house in front is empty. There's nobody living there. And I pull up to the back house, and I park my car, and I look over, and it's dark. The house is dark. So I'm just sitting there in my car, and I roll down the window, and I just kind of turn my head, and I looked at the back house, and I see the curtains, the blinds or curtains or whatever was there, pull to the side, open up, and I see this face look out through the front window at me. I went, oh, somebody's here. Okay, well, why didn't they just come out? They heard my car pull up. They saw the headlights. I'm kind of frustrated. Whatever, making me sit in the car for 10 minutes when I didn't have to be there. So I get out of the car, and I walk up on the front porch, and I'm waiting for the door to open. It doesn't. I'm waiting. I'm like, what, now, I'm a little angry, knock on the door. Come on, open up. Nobody opens the door, and I knock again, and now I'm getting a little bit pissed off, and I'm trying to look through the windows. I don't see anybody in there, and then the cars pull up in the driveway behind me, and I go down, and my girlfriend gets out of the car. She comes up, and I go, your roommate is home, and she won't open up the front door. She's like, what are you talking about? I said, yeah, she's not here. She's with her boyfriend. They're behind me. And I was like, what? And right then, another car pulls in, right? And it's her roommate and her boyfriend, this guy, Chris. And we're like, what? No. Really? Then who's in the house? Now we're all freaked out. And so Chris, who's a pretty big dude, he and I'm telling him what's going on, and we all freak out. We go, we unlock the house and walk in, start turning on the lights. We go to the back door. It's locked. We check all the windows. Everything is sealed up. There's nobody there. And I walk back to the front window. It's a big picture window, like maybe, 8 feet wide, 4 feet tall. It's a big window. And I walk over and I pull the curtains to the side and I look at my car, right? The same way that this face looked at me. And I'm like, these things had to move this far. And I'm sticking my face through it. I'm like, that's what? Right? I mean, we freaked out and left the lights on all night. Never found out anything. And then the next day was the next morning. The landlord is there, and he was Asian, Japanese, Chinese, and little older guy. And he comes up, and we're out there talking about it. And that's when he tells us, because we were like freaked out, that there was somebody in the house last night, and he goes, my son used to live in this house, in the front house, but last year he committed suicide. He lit himself on fire in the living room. What did you just say? And he goes, yeah. And he goes, yeah. And I went up and he goes, and my memory was he invited us in. He opened up the back door of the house. And I looked through. I didn't go in, but I looked through and I could see straight into the living room. And I saw the black spot on the wooden floor in front of the fireplace. Big, burn spot on the I was like, oh, my God. You got to move out of this house, man. Right? And so that really happened. Just exactly like I'm telling you right now. There's nothing to, elevate or take to the extreme or anything like that. That's how it went down. And it was crazy. It messed with me for a long, long time. I don't think I went back to that house. I don't think I went back. I was too freaked out about the whole thing. Yep. I actually, about a year ago, I told this story on the air, and I went back on Google Earth, and I went and looked at the house, and it's still there. The house is still there, and the back house is there. But I'm not going to disclose the address. But that's a real story, man. It's a real story. Oh, I'll tell you. You want me to tell you the freaky part? From that house, from the back house, if you had a really good rock, you could throw it over the building and hit the Church of Scientology's main headquarters. It's like right there, man. It's
even better.
Yeah, I know, right? So there you go. How about you? What's your best paranormal story?
Oh, man. So mine is from probably about 3 or 4 years ago. I have a friend of mine who him and his girlfriend, they had gotten, it was a pretty good big house, few acres, but it was built in the 1800s. And at this point in time, I was very skeptical about anything paranormal. I was interested and fascinated in it, but I didn't really think it was real. And same with my friend, but his girlfriend was very into it all, and he was starting to tell me, he's like, man, I've been seeing this little girl pop up in the house. And then he was telling me that when he moved into it, there was a room where it had a padlock on the outside of the room. So it was like someone was locked in it. And for a while, I thought he was kind of messing with me, making that up about his house. And then he invited me out there for a party. And so I go out there, and he's showing me around. And just from the stories, I was already kind of spooked about the place.
Right.
But then hearing the stories from him and his girlfriend about how he even was convinced that there was stuff going on at that point. And I parked next to this one shed, and I didn't know anything about it or whatever. And I'm about to leave the party. I'm starting to walk back to my car, and I just had this really weird, gross feeling going on in me. And I was thinking, okay, maybe I had too much fun at the party. Maybe it's just in my head. But the closer I got to my car, the more that was going on. So I went back to the house, and I was telling them, and they were saying that they've never opened that shed because it's locked up, and they've always had bad vibes from it and stuff. And so it was a moment I wasn't all too proud of for being such a man and all. But I had his girlfriend walk me back to my car, man. That was tripping me out. Right. So I started walking to my car again, and I start hearing like whispering circling around my head. And so I didn't say anything about it. I just got in my car, waved goodbye. And then right when I started my car, I started hearing banging on like all the windows around my car, and there was no one there. And so I just peeled out of his house and sent a text apologizing for ripping up his yard when I got out of there.
Wow. Were they?
Yeah,
so they weren't messing with you. You didn't see the hands. You just heard them.
Yeah.
Oh,
they
man.
lived there for years, and so over time they started researching into the house and found out that there was a little girl that had died there.
Oh.
And so they would see this little girl stand at the end of their bed, but from what they were telling me was that they came to the conclusion that she was like good and kind and stuff, but that there was some other darker presence in the house too. And they went through a lot of roommates, and then something that I think is pretty intense that they would do to mess with new roommates when they would move in. Because the new roommate would obviously always get that really sketchy room that used to be locked up.
Right.
They would hide a Ouija board in that room.
No.
And then not tell them any of the stuff about the house. And like, they would only have good friends move in, and then they just thought that this was funny to do to people. And so, then when friends would start telling them, like, I keep having nightmares and stuff in this room, what's going on? And then they would lay it all out on them and then pull out the Ouija boards. Like, hey, you guys are nuts. not doing that.
You excited about Soul Tech, man? We're less than 2 weeks away. Can you believe it?
I am excited. I'm still getting ready for all that stuff. I'm crunching to pull off some stuff, but I'm gonna pull it off.
It's today is the 20. Today is the 26th, man. We're going to be up there on the 7th. So excited! I mean, it's here. That's it. I mean, it's like I'm ready to just start packing now. Here we go.
Yeah, same here. I remember however long ago that I got tickets for my girlfriend and I, and all summer I was just like, I just want to fast forward to August and go do this. That is definitely going to be my highlight of the summer.
For everybody.
I'm very excited to meet everyone.
Yeah, yep. For everybody, it's going to be like that, Inquire. And I'm being serious about it. There is my memories of ECETI and all of the conferences and getting out there with all the FADERNIGHTs. There's things that are great about every single one, but ECETI and what went down there for me, I haven't chronicled, sat down and wrote everything out, day for day. But we had so many from the orientation the night before everything or the day of, from that orientation forward. So many different things happened to me personally, just minute by minute all day long. It was crazy. It was nuts. And so we have all of that. Then you throw in what was going on at the Field of Dreams every single night. We had Lorcan O'Toole and his Bigfoot sighting. We had that door opening up on the mountain, or, whatever that was. And it was one thing after another nonstop. And in between all of these great events, these things that were going on, were the conversations that we were having with everybody and the friends that we made and all of the meals and sitting there and eating and hanging out. It was so much fun. It was just a singular event. And I cannot wait for Soul Tech because I know it's going to be the exact same thing for everybody, yourself included. It's going to be so cool.
Oh, man, that and then Cards Against Humanity, it's going down.
Well,
things are getting hostile on the internet, and it's going to get more hostile in person.
Well, and
be ready.
And you're going to be doing the release of your new album.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
I am. I'm glad that I managed to get that recorded and produced in time.
I cannot wait. It's going to be so much fun. So we'll see you. Safe travels. We are 11 days out. 11 days out. And tonight's Thursday, right? So we're going to get to Sunday. Then that's it. And then we're going to be a week out. And a week from this Tuesday, we are going to be at ECETI. We're going to get there a couple of days early. We got to pull the land yacht in there, and so that's going to be really cool too as well. So we'll see you up there, man.
Sounds good.
Thank you, Inquire. Behave and be well. And I can't wait. I can't wait to hear you play. I can't wait to hear your CD, and of course, Cards Against Humanity. That's what I'm talking about. Inquire within. Behave and be well.
You too, man. See ya.
Thank you so much. And now I'm looking. I have got to do this, and then I'm going to do this, and then I'm going to say more phone calls are next. This is Fade to Black. It is Fader Night. It's Thursday. Open lines all night long. 323-825-5045, 323-275-9695, or 818-921-6929. It's Fade to Black. I'll be right back. Stay with me.
Way out here, we listen to Jimmy Church.
You're listening to Fade to Black.
Always on the edge of the hottest alternative talk. Jimmy Church with Fade to Black. KGRARadio.com.
¿Qué tal, mis amigos? Yo soy Mario Carson, el tiburón, y los invito para que escuchen a mi buen amigo Jimmy Church Radio. ¡Claro que sí!
Hurricanes, earthquakes, wildfires. This year we've experienced more than our fair share. This is Jimmy Church of Fade to Black, and last month I decided to make sure my family does not have to worry about food should we get caught in a real emergency situation. Introducing Numana, a healthy, storable product that tastes so good that you'll want to eat it every day instead of just during those times of duress. All Numana products have a 25-year shelf life, are MSG and GMO-free, no preservatives, and are made in America. With the Numana pack in your home, you'll be able to sleep at night knowing that you've protected your family. Not only have I tasted and tested, I own it. Now you can too. Just click on the Numana banner on JimmyChurchRadio.com and use the promo code Jimmy when you order. In addition to a discount, we'll send you an autographed Fade to Black t-shirt. Seriously, go Beckley Tappy.
Do you worry a lot? Whether you're a college student, busy professional, parent, or grandparent, ongoing stress and elevated levels of the stress hormone cortisol can rob your memory, your health, and your future. Now you can combat the effects of stress and anxiety while improving your memory and recall at the same time with the dietary supplement Calm and Clever. Studies show that the ingredients in Calm and Clever reduce cortisol by as much as 30% in 1 to 2 weeks. Call 1-800-758-8746 or calmandclever.com.
You listen to us, and we listen to you. And so does the CIA. KGRARadio.com.
Hi folks, what can I say without making claims? CBD is truly the buzzword for health. What does it do? Government institutions will not allow me to say what this wonderful oil does for us. But I can say it's non-GMO and organic. I can say it's 0.003 THC, which in plain English means you won't get high. There are those that want to squash your freedom to buy natural products. Fight back with your purchase power. In the end, it is you that takes care of your health. Go to ancientlifeoil.com. One more time, ancientlifeoil.com.
You are listening to Fade to Black with Jimmy Church on the Game Changer Network.
Oi, oi, I'm Reese Evans. You're listening to Jimmy Church. This is Revolution. The revolution will not be televised. The revolution is on radio. Ciao.
Welcome back, Fade to Black. I'm your host, Jimmy Church. Thursday night, Fader Nights. Open lines all night long. If you're on hold, stay right there. I'll get to you in just a second. 323-825-5045 or 323-275-9695 or 818-921-6929. And I was thinking, and I was watching in Twitter, Inquire Within's question was my favorite paranormal experience. And I was just sitting here contemplating, and yes, the missing house with the pool, that one stands out. But I was just sitting here thinking, you know what? The ghost story in Hollywood was one that really, really freaked me out. But I was alone for that. And then there's other stuff. But I forgot. The electric company story. The electric company. I'm going to get to calls here in just a second. And, well, you know what? I don't want to keep people on hold. Let's go to area code 269. You're up next. Yes.
Hey, man. What's up?
Who's this?
This is Dan from Kalamazoo. First-time caller, long-time listener.
Dan from Kalamazoo. You know, I used to live in Kalamazoo.
Yeah, I've heard you mention that before, yeah.
Yeah, I did. Right there, Western Michigan University, right there at the top of the hill, looking down on the campus. We lived right there on Redwood. But anyway, you're calling me. What's up, Dan?
Oh, I just love the show. Wanted to call in for once. Thought I'd mention my TR3B sighting.
When?
In Kalamazoo. Actually, Portage.
Really? What happened? When was it?
March 13th, 2011.
Okay.
About 9 o'clock at night. Just got done putting the kids to bed, sitting on the back porch, drinking a beer and playing guitar. And all of a sudden, out of nowhere, it appeared out of thin air. It just blinked in. It's flying north. And this thing was so close, and I mean, it was within 500 feet altitude. And it blinked in out of nowhere. It was literally right over Lover's Lane in Portage. And popped in, was flying north real slow, and then it disappeared, and then it reappeared and disappeared again. And it didn't skip a beat. Like it was, kept on flying north, just disappeared. I don't know, can't explain it. Ran inside, grabbed my video camera, came out, and it was gone. Never saw it again.
500 feet, so you got a really good look at it.
I'm telling you, it was close. I used to work on cell towers, so I kind of know a little bit about height, and yeah, I swear it was within 500 feet.
And what what did you what details what did you see? Could you see anything about it?
Yeah, it was, everybody says they're black. I thought it was kind of maybe like a stainless steel, because you could see the lights kind of bouncing off of the object, off of the perimeter of it. It had three lights, one light on each corner, and it was almost like the perimeter of the thing was also lit up, but it wasn't really emitting light. It was more like reflecting light. That's why I think it was, almost like a stainless steel color, but it could have been, that shiny black. It also reflects light, but yeah, I mean, that's about it.
Wow.
It was great.
Wow. How big? Yeah, how big was it? How big?
Oh, it had to have been about the size of I want to say 40 feet, 40 by 40 by 40 at least, maybe more.
Did it make any noise?
Not a sound. No. And the crazy thing is, I came back outside with my video camera, and, I was just recording the night sky, just hoping they'd come back, saying in my mind, come back, show me something,
Right.
In my mind, I'm trying, you hear that they're, if it's the Greys or whoever, that telepathic or whatever. So I'm trying to talk to them in my mind, saying, come back, show me, I want to see, blah, blah, blah. And like I said, I never saw it again, but my video camera started making a really weird, like, high-pitched frequency sound that I've never heard it do before. And I recorded the sky for like 20 or 30 minutes. And a couple days later, I looked at the footage just to see if there's anything I could see. But and as right around the time when I started hearing that high-pitched frequency on the footage, you could hear tapping. And it was the weirdest thing, because it sounded like Morse code, right?
Right.
And so I actually downloaded some Morse code decoding software and looped it through the audio, and it came up with like a whole paragraph of just random letters. And it didn't make any sense to me. A lot of it was the letter D. There was didn't make any sense or anything, but it was just very weird that the software picked up anything. You know what I mean?
Right, right.
It was great.
Was it?
I saved small footage,
So that was March 13th, 2011. Were there any other reports in Kalamazoo about the sighting?
No, I called the news station the next day and asked them if anybody called about any weird lights in the sky or anything. They said no. And they said, "Do you want to report something?" I said no. I didn't want to be the crazy guy on the news. You know what I mean? And I said, "Well, who do I report this to?" And they said, "Well, we don't know. Try the police." And I called the police actually and told them, and they said, "Yeah, there's really nothing. We don't really care." And looked online and got a hold of MUFON and reported it to them, and ended up having an interview with the director of Michigan, and he said he definitely thinks it was a UFO. He couldn't tell me if he thought it was an alien or a government, but that was the craziest thing I've ever seen in my life. You think that was kind of interesting. Have you ever seen one?
I photographed a black triangle. I don't know if it was a TR-3B because it was so high up you can't see those kind of details. And what I photographed, I think it was more like a pyramid, but it could have been a TR-3B. Yeah. But it was really fast in the sky and then stopped. And I've talked about this many times. And then it stopped and then went straight up. It came to the edge of this cloud and stopped and just kind of sat there not even a second. And then went straight up into the blue sky and disappeared. It was crazy. The whole sighting, it was moving so fast across the sky that you couldn't see. It was just a black dot, okay? It wasn't a black triangle. It was just a black dot moving across the sky. I just happened to catch a picture of it. Anyway, I have no idea how fast it was going, but at that altitude, the way it was moving, it had to have been going thousands of miles an hour. And then it just stopped. And that's what caught our eye, that it was just, streaking across the sky. But then it just and stopped. It was crazy. So I grabbed a picture of it. And when you look at it with the jeweler's loop, you can see that it's clearly a black triangle. So was it a TR-3B? I don't know. Have I seen a TR-3B up close like you? No, I have not. I would love to have that kind of sighting, though. Seriously, but what
else really crazy is my camera. I was looking at it, sometime afterwards, and it was right around. I'm not sure if it was the same day I saw that sighting or if it was a couple days later or what have you. But there were some weird pictures in the beginning of the camera, of all the pictures, and I swear it looked like it was a picture of Earth from space, and there was like a trail, like a chemtrail, you could see in the picture, and it really, I can't even fathom that maybe I, was abducted or something. I don't think I was. I think it was just like, I don't know, some stock pictures or something maybe from when I bought the camera. But
wow,
I don't know. It was really, really. It's kind of trippy, and like I said, I don't think anything happened, but I don't know. Those pictures, I don't know where they came from. I don't know how they got there. I don't even know what it is, but it appears like it's Earth from outer orbit almost. So crazy.
Yeah, that'll mess with your head, right?
Yeah, I don't know. I just don't think about it, I guess, but that'd be something.
You never know. And thank you for the phone call. Your name was Pete?
No, Dan.
Dan. Thank you, Dan. I don't know where Pete came from. I have no idea. That was strange. Thank you so much, Dan. Be safe and be well.
All right, man. Love you. Bye.
Right back at you. That's a great sighting right there. 500 feet up. It's what does Jimmy have as his hold music? Oh, I don't know. That's interesting. I don't know. I think we have the show piped in. You listen to the show when you're on hold. Speaking of that, let's go right back to the phones. Oh, I was going to tell my electric company story. I'll do that one next. Hi, you're live on Fade to Black. Who's calling?
Hey, Jimmy, it's Sarah Ann from La Costa.
Hi, Sarah Ann from La Costa.
How are you?
I'm doing good. It's Thursday night. It's Fader night.
Right? So I have a lot of stuff that is on my mind, but real quickly, I just want to make a comment on Dan's story from Kalamazoo.
Yep.
And I just want to give a little validation for him because about 4 years ago when I started to receive like my communications, a lot of it was Morse code, which I don't know. And it would come in the form of sounds, sometimes like telepathic or clairaudient sounds, sometimes actually physical sounds in this reality,
right.
Sometimes flashing lights. So I think, I had that experience too, and I just want to share that with everybody and Dan. And what else was I going to share? I had another experience similar to him where, he had the whole video camera thing. I had my iPhone in my pocket, and I found a video a couple of days later after I had some missing time. I actually just put the video up on Twitter, and you guys can watch it, and I'm going to take it back down because it's a huge file. It's very weird. It has no sound, and I think it actually shows me being taken. So I'm really sensitive about it, but I just wanted to validate Dan's story.
I see it here. Okay. Is this something that I shouldn't play on the air?
No, you can play it. I just ask that people don't because I'm still working through some of this, and I don't like to draw attention.
Right. No,
because I've really been through the ringer.
Yeah, well, it's nothing like calling into a radio show.
I feel like I'm ready. Go ahead and check it out.
Well, I'll do it off of the air. Okay. How long is it?
It's quick. It's quick.
It's quick? All right.
It's quick, and it has no sound, and it's a lot of what looks like light language and going through a vortex, and it's trippy.
Well, I'm going to say it's about a year ago. It might have been a little longer. I'd have to ask Rita. But on her cell phone, a couple of videos popped up that we couldn't explain. And now, nothing strange or crazy. But the point is, we didn't shoot the video, and the video doesn't show anything. It's kind of weird. There's nothing in the audio that would tell us, we accidentally, clicked video, and that's what was going down. Okay, all right. Like we knew the date and time and stuff. No, they just showed up on our phone. And we couldn't, I don't think we ever really quite figured it out. As freaked out as she was really freaked out, but I'm trying to maintain coolness, right? Okay, well, honey, it was just this and that, and I don't want to amplify the situation, but I was pretty freaked out about it too because I'm looking at it and I couldn't figure it out, and I was trying to convince myself in my own mind, it's. There's your thumb is over the camera lens, so it's not really showing it. I'm not, I'm just trying to figure it out, and I'm trying to debunk it. And I don't think we ever did. I don't think we ever got to the bottom line on that. It never happened again. I'll say that. It never, we don't have a bunch of stuff like that. But it was weird.
Well, I'm so sorry. I kind of have a theory about the video that was on my phone because I had gone out for a walk the night before, or I guess it would have been a couple nights before, and I had a contact experience, and I was trying to film this, craft as it was leaving, and so there were two videos on my iPhone, the same length of time, but the reason that I found the second one was because the file was so massive, it was causing my phone to crash. And I know that it was put there for a reason to see if I had the comfort level to be able to deal with it. And I think that these things can happen where, these invisible guidance from above is kind of just testing the waters. Because I know that with, I'll just call it my team, benevolent, peeps that are in contact with me, they're very gentle and they're always testing things out. And that takes me to the reason that I called was I wanted to talk to you about The Endless.
Oh, The Endless. Yeah, go ahead.
I watched it, and what's really funny is, so I'm not going to give anything away, but you can look online, you'll read that it's about two brothers that return to this cult that they once fled from years ago, and in returning, they discover that the group's beliefs may or may not be more sane than they once thought. And
right.
For me, this movie is like the big metaphor for the process of ascension or the process of awakening. And what's trippy to me is that when I watched the movie, I assumed that these guys were big-time experiencers, or at least big-time experiencers of the paranormal.
Right.
But I went back and listened to the interview, and they're not.
They're not.
And so this is the thing. This is the thing, and this is going to take us back to when I called last week with my blue sphere story, is that everybody has a piece of the puzzle. And for me, that's the huge teaching in the film. I mean, these guys play with duality so brilliantly, and I had so many vibrational deja vu moments during that movie. There were like so many scenes that were a visual echo of very specific experiences with the big E that I've had over recent years when I'm receiving communications, especially, and having to learn discernment about who's on the other end of the line, right? I mean, we can relate that to the scene in the movie where they're playing the tug of war. And, just like, who was it? Was it Curtis Von Dito? Is that his name? That was just on this week that said everybody's an experiencer?
Yep.
Yeah, and I mean, it's just like, there he was. Like, I watched this movie, and he dropped in this really important piece of wisdom that echoes what I was picking up on that movie. And, it's like, I guess I want to say that throughout my experiences and what I really got from the movie is that the understanding that one's viewpoint, maybe a viewpoint that I once thought was completely erroneous or offensive or ridiculous, this same viewpoint has merit because it's a piece of the puzzle that I'm trying to put together, that we're all trying to put together in this lifetime. And this absurd viewpoint is actually a clue in like the cosmic scavenger hunt that I'm on and that we're all on as a collective at this time. And that's the ultimate teaching that has emerged for me on my path. And it's like a heavy scholastic book that continues to bonk me over the head whenever I lose my way on this path. And so, it's just, it feels good to be part of this community because there's not a lot of like trolling on Twitter where people are trying to tell you that you're wrong or that your experience is invalid or that what you think is stupid, or they're just trying to throw their spiritual dogma down your throats like a lot of spiritual teachers do. And when I see and hear stuff like that, I'm like, this person isn't awake because they're trying to convince me of something and they're not allowing me to be a clue in their scavenger hunt. And I understand that I'm being, I'm contradicting myself when I say that, but at least I'm aware of it.
You're not at all. You're not contradicting yourself, but not at all, at least not to me. Maybe to yourself, which is okay too. But in The Endless, what I found so enjoyable about the film was that each little scene had another paranormal or supernatural element to it that tied the film together. And you can go through the film and just come up with a timeline of all of these different elements. Like, for instance, I mean, just when you start to think it's something explainable, then you've got 3 moons in the sky, right? And so now that is suggesting something else. Then you've got the the guy in the tent, from 100 years ago, 150 years ago, reliving his 5 seconds. You have that. Then you have the trailer that drops, right? Or the photographs. Each one of these little tiny scenes, right? Walking up the trail, the photographs are on the ground, the puff of smoke. You pick it up, and it's a photograph from above. So who is taking the pictures of above at that exact moment? Very strange. Right. You've got what's his name committing suicide over and over and over and over again. You have the one scene where he steps across in front of the whatever you call those totems, those poles.
Yeah, like
and then the girl cannot see him. He stepped into another reality, and they both can feel each other's presence there, but they can't see each other. And that. Well, it's just like I can go on and on and on and on. Of course, the rope scene, the famous rope scene, but you can go on and on and on with each one of these little scenes that are independent from each other. Right, but they're all, or when so he meets up with the guy that's helping out the meth head, the meth gun dude, right? So he's out on the front porch. Moments later, he's back. I think it's Aaron. Aaron is back at the camp, and he meets up with his wife. Right? The guy helping out right? And she's looking for her husband. He knows that he has I hope you find him. You remember? I hope you find him one day.
Yes.
Right? When he knows that guy's in a time loop. And
he's in a total time trap. But what's really crazy, Jimmy, is these experiences that are shown on film, they feel so similar to experiences that I've actually had. The way that this great force from above kind of communicates and shows that it is watching everything. Like when Justin retrieves that message, from the body of water. I don't want to give anything away.
Oh, yeah. There's that.
But when they play it back,
yes.
That's exactly how my guides communicate with me in moving pictures, really campy. They communicate in this really campy way, and they show me like a film behind my closed eyes when I've really messed up.
Yes,
and I can tell that it's my benevolent team because they really show me that it was a total epic F-up moment, but they give it to me in a really campy way, so that I can handle it. And then, of course, I have also had experiences, they show the projector on the screen. Last week I was telling you about, with this blue sphere, how it put these movies and pictures in my mind. I've actually woken up in the middle of the night to look out my window and see the star Sirius projecting a beam into my bedroom so that the moving picture, and it was like hieroglyphs or something, the moving picture is right in front of my eyes. And I can see it with my eyes open, and I can see it with my eyes closed. So I don't know where these guys, if they haven't had these experiences, I'm like, are we drinking from the same well? And of course we are. And everybody has a clue,
I'm looking at your video here. By the way, everybody is going, this is freaky. This is freaky. I'm sure you're watching Twitter right now.
It's freaky. It gives me chills.
That's okay. And you didn't know anything about this?
No, and it's silent, and it's a huge file. There's no sound.
Wow.
I mean, not even and it was after, again, it was right after I filmed this other, crap leaving. I had my phone in my pocket. I walked home. I had about 45 minutes of missing time. And then, I've shown this, I showed this to my parents, and they were like, we don't ever want to see this again. Because it's just so spooky.
Yeah, this is bizarre.
Yeah.
And you have no idea where the location is?
Well, I know exactly where I am, because at the end, I don't know if they're dropping me back down or whatever, but I was in Solana Beach, and there's this hill that I like to walk up to when I feel, I can kind of feel something coming.
Right.
And so it's a quiet place with a lot of, open sky and not a lot of people around. So that's where I filmed, the craft leaving after I had this experience. But then this is what happened afterwards. And I don't actually know if it was taken before I filmed the craft leaving or after.
Wow. That's disturbing is what it is. I mean, because it doesn't, I can't even explain it. Yeah. How long, you said this is 13 seconds here, right?
I think so, because I documented it all when I put it together.
But how long was the file? Is this a short piece of it? Is there a longer version?
No.
That's
the whole thing.
Okay. Wow. Yeah, that's pretty trippy, Sarah. That's pretty trippy.
Yeah.
I almost...
And just to circle back to what I was saying with the endless, it's like, that's, you never know. Did some good beings take me? Did some evil beings take me? It's just like, and just like in the movie, and just like how Hal, the cult teacher, was, trying to demonstrate, it's really not up to anybody except for me.
Okay, I'm going to retweet this. The one we are talking about.
Oh, Lord.
Okay. Well, I want everybody to see it. So, I don't have 1 million followers, but I got a buttload. That's for sure. Okay. Out it goes.
And by the way, that clip that you played at the beginning was flippin' hilarious. I almost peed myself.
Oh, you're talking about, hold on for a second. You're talking about, hold on, this one right here.
And you're going to go, wow, that was great. You know what? It actually sucked.
I could listen to that all day.
That's pretty funny. It's even funny for me.
Yeah.
All right, Sarah, I got to get out of here. Thank you for sharing that with us. And go read the comments that'll eventually start accumulating on the video out there. It's good to share it so everybody else can see it and they can, and tie it into something with themselves too as well. And you gave the background to it. Thank you so much, Sarah.
Totally.
We'll see you on Monday.
All right, go back, Lee Tappy.
Go back, Lee Tappy. It's Fade to Black, open lines. I'll be right back.
Hi, everybody. This is Rob Halford, the Metal God, on JimmyChurchRadio.com.
This is KGRA Digital Broadcasting Station. Salt Lake City, Utah. Van Buren, Arkansas.
Okay, nurse, let's get this man to the ER stat.
Right away, doctor.
We see this every day. Heart attack or angina pain due to blocked and clogged arteries. Chelation can remove obstructions or blockages from arteries and help avoid painful and expensive surgery. Now there's Angioprim. It's a liquid oral chelation product that you take with juice. You start to feel the results fast. Angioprim increases blood flow all over the body, and that means more energy and strength to take on the day with less aches and pains. 60 years of research has gone into chelation, and Angioprim is the result. A safe and easy way to unblock your veins and arteries from buildup that slow circulation.
Paging Dr. Jones. Please report to the emergency room right away.
Log on now for a special radio offer from Angioprim. That's angioprim.com/radio. ANGIOPRIM. Angioprim.com/radio or call 877-882-7221. That's 877-882-7221.
So, you love talk radio? Then you'll love TalkStreamLive.com. TalkStream Live is always on, 24/7 with the best streaming talk shows. Find your favorite talkers and discover some new ones. It's free, readily available online or on any smartphone or tablet. Finding your favorite talk shows all in one place has gotten a whole lot easier. Just go to TalkStreamLive.com. Be sure to download the free apps from Google Play or the iTunes App Store.
Your contact for current news and trending topics. KGRARadio.com.
What can I say about the most popular tea on the internet? And what do customers say about Life Change Tea at GetTheTea.com? A lot. But by federal law, we at GetTheTea.com cannot make claims to how this product can enhance your health. We cannot even post our testimonies without being in compliance. So how do we get past the hump? Try our products at GetTheT.com and see for yourself. You can send us a testimony, but we just can't post it. Bummer. Our products are GMO-free and organic. We pride ourselves in being the best we can be, and we urge you to take charge of your health. We're 11 years strong, and many of our customers have shared their successes with friends and family. Protect your colon. Log on to GetTheT.com. That's GetTheT.com. GetTheT.com. GetTheT.com.
Did you know that when you're on the road with limited data or Wi-Fi available, you can still listen to every minute of Fade to Black by just calling 605-562-4482. No smartphone, app, or internet needed. It saves your data plan and no extra cost if you have unlimited minutes. Just call 605-562-4482. You can listen to me, Jimmy Church, on any phone, anytime, anywhere. Go Beckley Tappy.
You want to know a secret? I love ponies. I really love ponies. I'm serious. I couldn't stay sane without ponies to brush.
Why fade to black? Because you never got that pony, damn it.
This is Fade to Black with Jimmy Church on the Game Changer Radio Network and KGRA, the Global Radio Alliance.
All right, welcome back. Fade to Black. Thursday night, open lines. 323-825-5045 or 323-275-9695 or 818-921-6929. Open lines all night long if you're on hold. Stay right there. I'll get to you. Earlier tonight, I read Tom DeLonge's announcement about the creation of ADAM, the research project. And he says in this announcement that Project ADAM is an acronym for the Acquisition and Data Analysis of Materials. And he goes on to say that evaluation of material samples obtained through reliable reports of advanced aerospace vehicles of unknown origin. He doesn't say UFOs. He doesn't say ET. He doesn't say alien. He doesn't say anything like that. He doesn't say what the materials are. My take on all of this is if you've got these materials, just do a press conference. Just do a press conference. Lay the materials out on a table and show us what you've got. What is it that, and more importantly, believe it or not, than that is where did you get them from? Okay, is this collected stuff at a crash site? Is it a piece of a craft? Did it come from the government? Did it come from a civilian that came forward and said, "Hey, I saw something out there, and I got this out of my yard, and here it is." What is it? How big is this stuff? How big are these pieces? Because I have, I'll hold this up to the camera right now. I've got some materials here I want investigated. I want this checked out right here. Here, I'll hold this up to the camera. Is it stuff like this, right? Is it this? Is that what it is? Look. Analyze that. Is that what it is? Here, I have some more. Here's another. Here, I'll hold this up to the camera. What about this? Is it stuff like this? Are you checking this out? Did somebody give you stuff like this and go, "Hey, man, check this out. It's from a flying saucer." Right? Oh, really? Yeah, it's a sighting. I reported it to MUFON and this is what is that what it is? Or do we have something else involved here? Do we have large sheets, panels? Really, what are we talking about here? Because this is about as vague. It's hard for me to get behind this. It's hard for me to get excited. I like Tom, but this is worded in such a vague, strange way. There are others out there that are going to go, oh, this is great. I'm excited. I want to see what it is. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. If that's your take and you're excited about it, go invest, go buy some stock in the company and see what happens. But I'm disappointed, so I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, I had written up an article about different things a couple of weeks ago on Stellar. And my comment there when it comes to the stars is that I'm still hopeful. That's all I can say. I'm still hopeful. I really want something to come from this. But if this is where we are here, we're going into 9 months since the announcement of To the Stars, and nothing has happened. We got 3 videos that were not released by the Pentagon, no matter what if I see that in print one more time, released by the Pentagon. Elizondo released these videos. He got them released. No, he did not. Okay, but there's that. And Dave Fravor coming forward, the pilot, with his sighting is great. Love that. Okay? I do. But, right? So that's where I'm at. Here's the statement. Somebody said, what do you mean CEO? Well, it's signed. It's got his signature. Tom DeLonge, CEO, To the Stars Academy of Arts and Science. So, okay, there you go. Let's go back to the phones. Let's go to area code 408. You're up next.
It's your obsessed fan from Sacramento, Jimmy.
Hi, Deb. How are you?
Hi. Good. Hey, I totally agree with you on the To the Stars thing. When you read the statement earlier, I was like, well, my first thought was, could you be a little bit more vague?
Right.
And then also, it's like I'm just, in general, underwhelmed with all of it. And when they bring something real out to get our attention, I think this is just a desperate attempt to get our attention because they've been off the radar for so long, and they haven't really shown us much.
Right,
and so that's my take on that.
Yeah.
But I've got,
it's the correct take, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, next.
And Bigfoot info. Okay. And this is for Eric, Awakening Man, because he stayed the other night. He's going to be at Soul Tech. He's putting out his intentions. He's all excited. First of all, I totally believe that Bigfoot's real. My cousin's husband is a firefighter, captain. He's been with Santa Clara County Fire Department 20 plus years. I've always wanted to get him alone and ask him, about Bigfoot, because they're up there in the forest fighting all these fires, and they get dispatched to Southern California a lot. And I know there's an idle wildfire going a couple miles from where you guys are right now.
Right.
So whenever I hear about a Southern California, when I went on Yahoo today, first thing I thought was, oh my God, where's that in reference to Burbank? Because I worry about you guys after what you went through last year.
Right.
And so that was my first thought. But I finally got a chance to talk to him at a family gathering and got him alone in a room. And I'm like, okay, you got to tell me, have you ever heard or rescued a Bigfoot? And he kind of smiled, but he didn't laugh or anything, and there was no one else around. He goes, well, Deb, here's what I can tell you. There's a lot of stuff I can't say because it's classified. He said, but, there's thousands of reports of these things. People aren't just seeing things and making it up, just like they're not seeing UFOs and making it up. These are credible people. We've seen a lot of reports. He says, and I'm hoping within the next 10 years we'll be able to talk about it openly. And that's all I can tell you.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well,
I know. I almost fell off the chair. I was like, well, that's enough for me. That's enough.
We're going to have, I think on Monday, it'll be next week, but I think it's on Monday. I don't have the schedule in front of me. But we have got a Bigfoot witness and report. I don't want to give it away right now.
Yeah.
That happened this year. And That's all I'm going to say. But that's going to be, and it was here in Southern California, and we're going to have this witness on the show. Now, I think it's going to be on Monday. And so it's kind of weird that you're bringing this up now and I'm announcing this. It sounds like, shameless. Or shameless promotion, right? But
no, not at all. And plus, Eric just talked about the other night, and then right after that, I got to talk to this guy, my cousin. So it's like this all is kind of coming together right now for a reason.
Yeah. There's, when it comes to Bigfoot, and I go back and I think about those early shows on Fade to Black, and when I had Jeff Meldrum on from, I think he's at Idaho State, right? I think that's where he's at. And my take on Bigfoot is still the same. I'm waiting for, I suppose if I have my own sighting, things will definitely change. But I'm waiting for that definitive thing, for me. That definitive thing. What could it be? And Jeffrey, he's got all of his cast, the footprints that he has done, and he's got, one of the biggest collections of that. And I get that. But I'm waiting for that definitive thing. And I don't know what it could be. Bigfoot running around in downtown Burbank, avoiding traffic. Would it be that a carcass, some kind of body being found, or captured or trapped or whatever, something like that, or another piece of footage like Patterson's film, which is still to me that what is weird. As much as I'm on the fence about Bigfoot, I've said it so many times, Deb, which is if the UFO community had a piece of footage like the Patterson film for Bigfoot, it would be, it would just be, closed case, and a case closed. And that's how impressive that Patterson film is. But the Patterson film is all there is. I mean, we've got lots of sightings and we've got photographs and we've got recordings and
right, but that's the Holy Grail.
Yeah, but that Patterson footage still is pretty damned impressive. So, well,
hey, episode 900 of Fade to Black is going to be on August 6th, just so you know. I was tracking it on the calendar.
Okay, August 6th, the night before
Monday.
Yep. That'll be our last broadcast, but we're traveling on the next day up to ECETI. So there you go. All right, thank you so much, Deb.
Take care, Jimmy. Thanks for taking my call.
We'll see you on Monday.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Have a great night. Yeah, we're going to do a pretty big Bigfoot show, I believe, on Monday. I think so. Monday or Tuesday next week. So get ready for that. It's pretty cool what we've got lined up for you. 323-825-5045, 323-275-9695, or 818-921-6929. Let's go back to the phones. Hi, you're live on Fade to Black.
Hi, is this me?
Yes.
Am I the one that's on? Oh, hi, Jimmy. This is Phil, Pacific Northwest. Yeah, and I wanted to say that I really kind of agree with you on to the stars. I mean, this is kind of lame, man. I mean, we know how they do it. It's electrogravitics and some kind of warping of time and stuff like this, and portals and all that. So, give us some meat. Let's roll out a spaceship,
Yeah. I mean, that would definitely do it for everybody and for the world and for the community. There's no doubt about that. My take is, once again, if you are in possession of these materials and for a fact that it came from a craft not of this earth, very simple, then you go public and you become the most famous person in the history of the known universe. That's what you do. And if you can't do that, and if you won't, then I call BS. That's it. I don't, well, it could be, it might be. Well, then everything is could be and might be. Why do this press release? That's it. What is it that you have? Do you have a piece of the chair? Do you have a piece of carpeting? Do you have a T-shirt? Do you have a piece of the control panel? A piece of glass? Do you have that? What? Blah 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 blah. Where did it come from? Was it given to you from the Pentagon? Was it? Is it from Area 51? Is it from the sports model of Bob Lazar's craft? Whatever it is, if it is off planet. And that it came from a craft that wasn't built by us, by humans, and it came from somewhere else, go public with it. That's it. You will have all of the funding. To the Stars Academy would be the most important company ever formed in the history of humankind. And that's the truth. And that's it. You want to sell stock? You want to have money to invest? You want to do that? You want to then bring it. Anything else, it's just like whatever. That's it. That's my take. That's really honest. And I'm not being critical here. I'm not debunking. I'm not bagging. I'm not doing anything. I'm saying if you have stuff that is from not of this planet, that is from an ET craft, like he says here, he suggests that, obtained through reliable reports of advanced aerospace vehicles of unknown origin. Bring it. Go public. Go public. Go public. I'm serious. There would be.
I don't see where it would make any difference about it. If you showed the product, it's not going to make. Unless you can actually analyze that, it doesn't give anybody else an advantage just to show it. I mean, you could do that pretty easily, I would think.
Well,
so I did want to say one thing, and kind of why I called in, is I have my own little piece of disclosure. I was doing a meditation here recently, Jimmy, and I was using the Metatron's key that I talked about before.
Mm-hmm.
And I had a really interesting thing happen. It's like I was connected, my heart was connected to the Earth, the Sun, the galaxy's central sun, the universe's central sun, but my third eye or mind was out there on the periphery of these bubbles around each one of these things in that grid work. And it was like I was up there with the divine, the source, logos of this universe, and he was kind of showing me how all the different universe or galaxies have a kind of a different color or frequency. And I watched that for a little while, and I thought, well, this is nice, but I should probably go back to my galaxy and work a little smaller because it was getting kind of overwhelming. And when I popped into our galaxy, I connected to what they call themselves the Galactic Council. And so I liked that because I asked what your name is. What's your name? Who am I? Who's talking to me, right? And it. So then I got flashes of faces. The first one was like this really sharp, angular face, like really sharp, defined cheekbones and a really big head. And then they just started flashing through there so fast that I couldn't really make out who it was, but I got an idea that it was a collective and not just one person. And so I wrote the article Union, because that's... I was trying to keep my energy up, so I was thinking peace, love, unity. Well, they picked up on unity as my question, and they gave me that little bit of stuff that I wrote on unity.
So what do you think? What do you think? When you because you mentioned disclosure with this.
So what I think is that the disclosure that I'm talking about here is that we can actually contact these people. We don't have to rely on Corey Good or anybody else. We can just do it ourselves. That's my disclosure.
Yeah.
We just have to get into the right, maybe have the right framework, the right sacred geometry or whatever, or the correct openness of mind, possibly. But it's possible that we can actually talk to these people. I mean, I'm planning on doing it again and seeing if I can't, have some better questions to ask.
Right. Yeah. I'm with you on that, Phil. And I think we're inching forward to it. I really do. I think there's so much stuff going on right now. But the other side of it, because we have the supernatural side, like with you, and you're having these communications. We have that, and then we have the science side, pushing this thing forward. Yesterday the announcement of the lake on Mars, or what was that? Yesterday or the day before?
Yeah, that was cool.
Yeah,
I mean, that was.
We have what's going on Europa. We have these fast radio bursts. We're now searching for laser communications right now. We've got all of the exoplanets that are being revealed.
40 billion that have a rocky planet with water in the Goldilocks zone. So we're not alone.
Yeah, that's exactly right. I mean, the numbers, when you go back to the Drake equation, and you think about that and the foundation and forming of SETI, the Search for Extraterrestrial Intelligence, and that program that Frank Drake was fundamental in. So you have that. And the Drake equation, as cool as it is wrong. It's small. The numbers are small. Compared to what we know now, if he went back and somebody started to put together another equation similar to the Drake equation, knowing what we know now, the Drake equation is actually small. It's a small number. In fact, it's wrong. And the Drake equation blew people's minds about the amount of potential intelligent life out there. But when we know what we know now, just in our own galaxy, in the Milky Way, 40 billion planets, that are 40 billion. It's like,
in our galaxy alone.
And so that's just crazy. It's just like crazy talk. So,
yeah, and we're not that far from the Andromeda galaxy, and it probably has 40 billion also.
Oh, of course it does. Yes, it does. Yes, it does. And there are, you start to average out, and look at all of these different galaxies out there. There could be some with a trillion.
No, when I got that bigger view, man, there were so many. I mean, it boggled my mind. I couldn't even. Well, I mean, it's
I don't think people, these numbers, the number billion is thrown around so often these days that I don't think people have a concept about how big that number really is. A billion, 1,000 million, right? It's just like,
exactly.
And then you take that to 40 billion. It is a huge number.
Well, and then you get to the trillions, and then that really gets crazy.
Oh yeah. Yeah, and I am very, the odds of us being alone are 0. That's the odds. 0. That's it. There's no way that anybody can tell me that there isn't anything else out there. That's just that they are wrong. Wrong. Mm-hmm. They're wrong. They're simply wrong. And
you're right.
When you go back to 100 years ago, 200 years ago, and the way that we looked at us, and we thought that seriously, that the Milky Way galaxy was like it, right? And these 7, 8, 9, 10 planets around our sun pretty much is it. And you're looking at stars out there, and you're looking through a telescope, and you're seeing all of these stars, that those were just stars. Those aren't stars. Some are. But a big chunk of those bright lights that you're seeing in the sky, especially through a telescope, are galaxies. We didn't know that. We didn't have a concept of the amount of things out there, the amount of stuff and the vastness of space and what the universe really is. We didn't have a clue. Today we do. And these numbers are ginormous. And I'll keep driving this home until everybody fully understands what we're talking about here. So, the odds of us being alone in our galaxy, not in the universe, in the galaxy, 0. The answer is 0. Anybody else that says anything different is wrong. They're not lying. They just don't know. They're wrong. I'm right. That's it. I don't care.
Have you heard anything about the James Webb telescope yet? I thought it was supposed to go up this year.
Yeah, I'm waiting for that. We all are. And I can't wait for the first images to come back. That's going to be extraordinary. Can you believe it? Hubble being done? Wow, that's just nuts. So, but James Webb, man, here we go. It's bigger and better. Think about that.
Right. Yeah, I know.
All right, Philip, have a great night, man. We'll see you on Monday.
Okay, man. You take care.
Have a great night. Fade to Black, Philip, from the Northwest. There you go. This is Fade to Black. I am your host, Jimmy Church. Open lines all night long, 323-825-5045 or 323-275-9695 or 818-921-6929. It's Fade to Black. I'm your host, Jimmy Church. I'll be right back.
Hey, what up, y'all? It's your girl Vivica Fox here, and you are listening to my boy, Jimmy Church, on JimmyChurchRadio.com.
Despite popular opinion, reading a book will not make you smarter.
But listening to Jimmy Church will.
Hurricanes, earthquakes, wildfires. This year we've experienced more than our fair share. This is Jimmy Church of Fade to Black, and last month I decided to make sure my family does not have to worry about food should we get caught in a real emergency situation. Introducing Numana, a healthy, storable product that tastes so good that you'll want to eat it every day instead of just during those times of duress. All Numana products have a 25-year shelf life, are MSG and GMO-free, no preservatives, and are made in America. With the Numana pack in your home, you'll be able to sleep at night knowing that you've protected your family. Not only have I tasted and tested, I own it. Now you can too. Just click on the Numana banner on JimmyChurchRadio.com and use the promo code Jimmy when you order. In addition to a discount, we'll send you an autographed Fade to Black t-shirt. Seriously, go Beckley Teppy. When you take the beans from Central America with dashes of Indonesian and African mixed in and then roast it to the dark side of Fade to Black, you create the ultimate brew of fringe. Introducing the Fade to Black blend from Rivermoon Coffee. Yes, Rivermoon's darkest customized roast was created for the love of Fade to Black. The alchemy of masterful roasting and smoking the beans is in every sip of this full-bodied, dark Java. I need my coffee dark, deep, with distinct bittersweet chocolate highlights, just like the bunker. Leaning further into the darkness of the roast is Fade to Black blend from Rivermoon Coffee. Just click on the banner at JimmyChurchRadio.com and use the promo code F2BBLEND for 15% off of your order today. Go Beckley Teppy.
Hey, can we talk about something serious for a minute? Your age. Getting old has its perks. But remember, being a few years younger, you know, your hair was thicker, you didn't have so many wrinkles, that extra weight wasn't haunting you, and you just felt better. Well, we can't turn back the clocks and go back 10 or 15 years, but you can start feeling and looking 10 or 15 years younger with Nature's Youth RSF. It's a doctor-formulated daily supplement that helps your body maintain its peak performance and fight the aging process. Imagine sleeping better, looking better, and feeling better. See how Nature's Youth RSF has helped thousands of people just like you at naturesyouth.com. Naturesyouth.com. The holidays are coming. Imagine how it will feel when your family and friends are asking you what you did to look so good. Your secret will be Nature's Youth RSF. It's time to start looking better and feeling better. Learn more and order your Nature's Youth RSF at nature'syouth.com. That's nature'syouth.com.
Erica, Brittany, Gabby, and you're listening to JimmyChurchRadio.com.
It's not a lifestyle we chose. We were born this way. KGRARadio.com.
This is KJCR at JimmyChurchRadio.com.
Welcome back, Fade to Black. It's Fader Night. 323-825-5045. 323-275-9695 or 818-921-6929. I like Jordan's tweet here, Spockin'. And, of course, I did the famous rhymes with Dockin'. Rockin' rhymes with Spockin'. That's really cool, actually. Okay, 323-825-5045, 323-275-9695 or 818-921-6929. And going back to this TTSA announcement from Tom DeLonge today, I do want to stress, I'm not in any way bagging. I'm not. I don't want to give that impression, and I certainly don't want to influence any of you. Okay, my opinion is my opinion. What I want to stress one more time: if you are in possession of stuff that is not from this planet, that came off of, let's be clear here, from a craft that was not built on this planet and arrived here off planet, extraterrestrial, that's it. If you are in possession of that, then you go public with it. That's what you do. That's it. That's what I would do. That everything that TTSA is about, that's what I would do. Man, if I was the CEO of this company and you don't beat around the bush. You don't do any of that. No. And what I don't like hearing from, well, you just can't bring this stuff forward. You can't bring it public. You just can't handle it that way. We've got to do it another way. No, you don't. Who is running that company? If that's me, I call the press conference. I use my public relations firm. I bring everybody there, live television. Here's what we've got. This came from a flying saucer. And here it is. This is the material. And it was given to us by the Pentagon. They released it to us. It came from this craft that crashed on this date. And here it is. This is it. We're going to figure this out, and we're going to go into the commercial sector with it, and we're going to build what we're going to build with it. And this is our donation to humanity. Stock in TTSA goes through the roof. They've got all the funding that they need, and that is the end of the story. That's it. There is nothing else here to discuss. That's it. And I know I'm right. I am right on this. There is nothing to argue about here. Nothing. Let's go to area code 618. You are up next on Fade to Black. Who's calling?
My name's David. Hey, you guys talk about Area 51 and stuff. Is that in Nevada?
Yes, it is.
Is it driving distance from Las Vegas?
Yeah, it is. Of course, it's maybe 100 miles north. You just drive up there.
I think that's the base my dad was calling me all the time and telling me about.
Oh, really? What did he say about it?
My father was in law enforcement, the Marines, and he worked at a special high classified base in Nevada before he transferred. He seen stuff there that was so bad he transferred out to a law enforcement division. And even when he went to the FBI training academy in Atlanta, Georgia, he was calling me on his drop phone because he said the crooks use drop phones, so he's always carrying one.
Ah, okay.
Now,
yeah.
He said they gave him security clearance and hooked him up to lie detector tests about every month to month and a half.
Mm-hmm.
And he told me an example of how secure this base was. They were hooked messing around on the computer one day, him and another security guy. And he said, we got off the base somehow. And he goes, I don't think we should be doing this. And the guy says, oh, no, it's fine. It's cool. He came in the next morning. The desk was cleared off. The computer was gone. And he never seen that security guard again. He was his friend. He never seen him again.
I believe that happened.
Okay. He was scared because he realized he was talking to me on a web-based phone, and he was worried afterwards because I hooked him up to a web-based phone when they first came out. He told me about these fire pits that they burned liquids that were in barrels.
Mm-hmm.
And this stuff turned blue, and it burned for weeks, and they had to stand there and watch it and guard it the whole time. He told me about when they worked on the runway, and they had cement trucks coming in, and they had to guard them, and they were not allowed to go nowhere, just there. But he was afraid he was going to get caught doing illegal stuff because that's what he would do on the side.
Right.
But he did imply, we got into discussion about why I stopped going to certain psychology in college, and it had to do with the autopsy classes. And he basically told me that they were using cadavers for testing. Now, he said, that's one thing he said. But he said, I killed people. I killed women and children. I did things for my government. I was a cop. I busted heads open. He said, but the things he's seen in that hangar should not be on this planet.
Really?
He said, this should not be here.
But did he ever say it was E.T.?
He would not come out and say exactly what it was. He just said it should not be here.
Interesting that he brought up.
I'm going to tell you. I'll tell you about why. He told me I can talk about all the stuff he told me about and all the stuff I witnessed because he used to sneak me in his squad car when he got out of Vietnam. Ever since I was 7. So when kids were in school, I was watching the cops in Chicago. Okay. I had a call from somebody. If I were to give you his name off, he just passed away from some rare, crazy lung illness, and they closed down his VA records. We can't find nothing about him being dead. He said, if I don't call you, making sure you don't talk to anybody after every week or two, that means I'm dead. We finally, he sent me the message of where he put all his will and all his information. I had to call the government place that they buried him, and even the lady said, this is the strangest thing. They had him brought here, cremated immediately, buried immediately, with no ceremony. Now, here's a guy who had gotten 2 medals by 2 presidents.
Mm-hmm.
In all kinds of combinations, and you had no ceremony. Even his friends didn't even know he was dead. And we still to this day cannot find nothing on, no death notices, no nothing. If I didn't call and he didn't give me that information, I never would have found out he was dead.
Right. And that, as crazy as that may sound to you, that type of thing goes on pretty commonplace inside of the military. I'll give you an example. If they want you, let's say you're in the military, right, and you're excelling at different things, and they want you to go into another program. I mentioned the CIA was created on this day back in 1947, at the beginning of the show. The CIA does clandestine operations overseas. We know that that's what they do. It's their job. It's no big deal. We understand that. Well, it's a big deal. What I'm saying is it's very common knowledge today. Now, Let's say they want you to be a part of one of these teams overseas, and you are in the military. What do? They kill you. That's it. They don't kill you physically, but they remove you from the military, possibly deceased, but your records and everything are completely buried. You are taken out of the military now and put into the clandestine black program where there's not going to be a paper trail for you. And it just may be that they tell your family that you're missing. Right? Missing in action. Something happened. We don't have his body. So, are you officially dead? Maybe, maybe not. But you are now able to go into another program and be used overseas where you are invisible. And this is a practice that happens all the time. They have to be able to take you and move you around without having your identity follow you. Well, how would they do that? Right? Missing in action.
I don't think they knew he was telling me all this stuff, calling me and telling me all this stuff, or had me in his car with him. He used to go take deliveries of Los Alamos. And even when they had him when Vietnam first started, they ordered them to kill, not just starve women and children, to kill them. Because this way they starved them, gave them one meal a day, and if they got kind of antsy, they can kill them before they would get mad enough to pick up a weapon. So he had pictures of these things that he showed me when I was a kid.
Yeah. Oh, so let me, I'll go back to finish what I was saying. Well, no, it's okay. It's okay. Which is this. If you are in one of these programs, you've been moved from the military, whatever, Marines, Army, and now you're doing some kind of black project overseas and you are killed, what do? You can't, you see what I'm saying? So now they've got to deal with this in a certain way, like this person that you were just talking about. Right? And so you're going to have a ceremony somewhere. You can't invite friends and family and other people in the military that were with him. You can't. And so it's going to be some kind of clandestine, right? No autopsy. Right. Cremate the body, put it in the ground, probably unmarked grave. And that's how it's dealt with. And I'm sure that this goes down every single day. And that's it. And they're going to sign you up and they're going to go, okay, now this is what's going to happen with you. Okay, you're going to go over here. We're going to take care of you. This is the program that you're going into. The old you doesn't exist anymore. So we're going to have to notify your family that, you were missing in action. You died in a training exercise. And that's how they staff this other force. And that's my take. I don't think I'm very far off the mark in what I am saying here. And what you just said to me doesn't surprise me at all. So
and I can tell you two other things real quick.
Yeah, really quick. I've got a bunch of calls on hold. Is your dad still in the FBI?
He supposedly died. He transferred to federal law enforcement. And the thing is, before 9/11, the month before 9/11, he told me about the guys in black fatigues, training them. He said he was called and he detained 5 Arab gentlemen canvassing the Hoover base that month before. And they were caught. He watched them and they went into classified areas. He pulled them aside and detained them. He was ordered by the upper ups to let them go.
Wow.
He was ordered to let them go. And he told me, I don't know what's going on. They said we're going to get a lot of power after it. And I said, well, my brother's asking me to get on a plane. He said, do not get on a plane. Do not get on a plane. My brother said, look, I'm going to pick you up from Dallas and I'll take you back, And I said, no. He said, don't get on a plane. He was dead serious.
Wow.
And he said his buddies that were watching, they told him 3 of those guys that he had, they were under surveillance. And he said later on, I knew it. 3 of those guys were on those planes.
It's
He said they
interesting.
ordered them to let them go.
It's interesting what you said about Area 51, though. The pits with that burned for 2 weeks. That is something that they did out there. There were so many dangerous materials and things that these planes that they're testing out there crash or whatever. Different.
He
types
said,
of
"I never he said, "I never seen stuff burn like that in so long,
Right.
and had the awfulest smell." And he said, "They didn't give us no protective equipment or nothing."
And the cement trucks too. That's very interesting. So yeah, Area 51, Nevada, Groom Lake. You can look at it. You can probably Google Earth Groom Lake, and it'll take you right there. Or Area 51. You can look at it.
Good.
All
hey,
right.
thanks, man.
Thank you, man. What's your name?
I'm David.
Thank you, David. Have a great night, and we'll see you Monday on Fade to Black. Let's see. Let's go here. Area code 360. You're up next on Fade to Black. Who's calling?
Hi, it's Tanette.
Oh, hi, Tanette. How are you?
Hi, I'm good. From what I'm gathering, a lot of people never heard my Bigfoot story. And I was going to call in on Monday, but sometimes when you have a guest, it's pretty hard to get through after the guest is done.
Right.
So I decided to go ahead and call in tonight.
Okay. What is it?
Okay, so we were up camping in the Olympic Mountains, Hamma Campground, and I posted a video on Twitter that was the best thing I can come up with that was similar to what we heard.
Well, tell me about it.
I've told this story before, but I think there's a lot of people that didn't hear it because it was a few years ago.
Okay.
So we went up camping up there, and while we were camping, we're listening to, at the time my husband was doing the country music thing, so the radio was on, and we were just sitting there, having a couple drinks and what have you, and he heard this noise, and it was like this weird, like growling, howling noise, and he walked up to the truck, and he shut the music off. Well, I found out later that when he walked up to the truck, he smelled like this really kind of pungent smelling thing. He said it smelled awful. I didn't know that till later. But when we go up in the mountains, he always brings his gun with him because of bears and what have you, just in case. So he has a 45 on him, and he heard this thing, and he was like, "What is that?" And he went and shut off the radio, and we're listening, and it was something we live in Washington, so we've both been in the woods all our lives and have never heard any noise like this ever. And he's a hunter and everything, so...
Wait, Tanette, what did you hear? What did it sound like?
It was like this grunting, growling noise. I don't even know how to explain it. But I copied a link to a video that somebody heard in Oregon, and it was the closest thing that I could find to what we heard, except what we heard was like more of a deeper grunting, growling noise. I mean, I couldn't even recreate it if I tried.
Okay, so I've got it here. Okay, how long is this video?
It's about like 5 minutes or something, I think.
Oh,
but basically,
I can't play a 5-minute video.
Right. The kid and the father in Oregon were hearing something in the woods, and they had their dog with them, and they were like, basically, we got to get the hell out of here before that thing catches up with us.
Well, what happened with you? Okay, so after you heard this, what happened next?
So, like I said, he went up and turned off the radio and everything, and we were just listening to it. And I was like, "That's Bigfoot. It's got to be. There's nothing in the woods that sounds like that." And so I'm like really intrigued, and my husband was ready to get the F out of there, like now.
Right.
He had heard Bigfoot stories before, but he never really believed them. And then we heard this thing, and he's like, "No, I'm gone." And he even, like I said, he had a pistol on him, and he was still so freaked out that he wanted to leave right then.
But you didn't.
No.
Did you
I kind of calmed him down a little bit and talked him into staying.
Did it continue? Did you go into the woods? Why didn't you go? Did you go into the woods?
No, it was at night, and there was a river right beside us, and whatever this was on the other side of the river. Well, there was two of them, and they were basically howling back and forth to each other.
So cool.
And as they were howling back and forth, they were going up the mountain. We kept hearing them up further and up further and up further up the mountain.
And didn't you have flashlights? Why? Was there a reason why you didn't, try to chase it down?
No, it was just probably far enough away from us. It might have been like, I'm kind of bad at distances, but it would have been like probably 50 yards or something on the other side of the mountain, or on the other side of the creek. Excuse me.
Right.
But it was far enough away where we couldn't go see what it was. But the fact that when he went up to the truck and shut the radio off and he smelled something, it may have been a little closer than we might have thought it was.
Do you regret not trying to find out and going after it?
A little bit. Well, the only thing that I regret is that we had been up there a few days, and that our cell phones were both dead, and we didn't get a recording of it.
Right. I understand that part for sure.
Right.
I mean, if it's hard to say. I might also, get freaked out too and want to split. But there's another side to me that says, if you've got an opportunity like that, then maybe you take advantage of it. He's got a 45. If you want to feel like you're safe, I wouldn't suggest shooting Bigfoot. I wouldn't do that. You just piss him off, and then you'd really be in a bad spot. But if you I think I would go. I think I would go and chase him down. But
so put this into context. He had heard Bigfoot stories, from his cousins and what have you throughout the years, but evidently he didn't really believe it. But my husband isn't afraid of normally anybody or anything. Mm-hmm. And he was like ready to get the F out of there.
Well, I'm sitting here, it's funny because I'm suggesting that I would go and chase this sound down. I wouldn't even get out of bed when the toilet seat fell down in our bathroom. I stayed in bed with Rita. I'm like, she goes, "Are you going to go check that out?" No. Why don't you go check it out, honey? So,
no, he was like, absolutely, I am leaving. I'm getting out of here. And I got him to calm down. I said, well, they didn't do anything to us or nothing. All we just heard is them going up the mountain and hollering like these weird, it's like it's like a bellowing growl at the same time. It's just the weirdest thing ever.
Right. Last year when Rita and I were at ECETI, we get back to our hotel, which is right next to ECETI, and there was a bench outside of our hotel room. So we went out and sat down for a minute before we went to bed, and just enjoying. It's about midnight, maybe 1 a.m, and it's in the woods. Right. We're in the woods, right? And there's a creek out in front of the hotel, motel, whatever. And as we were sitting there, this wolf started howling in front of us from the woods. And as he starts to howl, another one does, and then another one. And I'm not kidding. After about 10 seconds, and there must have been 20, 30, 40 wolves all howling together all the way around us. And we're sitting there like, man, you just don't know what's in those woods, right in front of us.
Right. This is Washington, so we got a lot of weird critters up here.
Yeah, it was great. It was beautiful, though. They were just in harmony, and they just got louder and louder and lasted for about, 15, 20 seconds, died away. And I'm looking at Rita, I'm like, man, it's just forest in front of you, but you just never know what's out there. Thank you for sharing that, Tanette. No, I got to go. Okay. I got to say goodnight. I gotta get out of here. Good night, Tanette. We'll see you on Monday.
Okay.
Thank you so much. Yeah, I wouldn't even get out of bed to go and check out the toilet seat that fell down in the bathroom. I was too freaked out. I didn't want to know what I was going to discover. So I'm not the tough guy, probably, that would go and follow Bigfoot up a mountain. I don't know. It depends on how many friends I got with me, I guess. But that's a great story right there. I guess we're going to find out in about 10 days. We're going to be up there at ECETI. You never know what's going to go on up at ECETI Ranch. SoulTechGathering.com. We still got some tickets left. Go and check it out. Fade to Black's executive producer is Rita Camarion. Show is produced by Hill J. Palm, Renee, Dennis, and Bob. Announcers are Steve Harder, Gene Vitello, Mark D. Kovar. Webmaster Drew the Geek. Music Doug Aldrich. Intro Spaceboy. SpaceboyMusic.com. Fade to Black is produced by KJCR for the Game Changer Network. Syndication is KGRA, The Planet. Thank you to John Rappaport and everyone who called in and tweeted tonight. This broadcast owned and copyrighted 2018 by Fade to Black and the Game Changer Network. It cannot be rebroadcast, downloaded, copied, or used anywhere in the known universe without written permission from Fade to Black or the Game Changer Network. Until Monday, everybody have a great, safe, fun weekend. Go Back Lee Tappy.